land now because we've got the sea very well under control.
Trump now acknowledging he's authorized covert CIA action in the country.
Nicole D'Antonio reports Trump refused to answer when asked if the CIA had been given the green light to take out Venezuelan President Maduro. Cobb County transportation officials say they are seeing an uptick in trash on or near the county's roadways. Marietta police officer Chuck McPhillamy says it's often caused by uncovered loads, which can be a safety hazard.
It would alarm you to know how many times a day we pick up a mattress, a spare tire, car parts, or even yard debris from yard waste where people have tried to go to the dump but not secured or covered their load.
Yet drivers who do not properly secure their loads can face a misdemeanor charge and even a fine. More Americans say their income is not climbing fast enough to keep up with the rising cost of living. Sarah Foster with Bankrate says their survey finds nearly 2 in 3 Americans believe they are not getting paid enough.
Even though inflation is slowing and it's not as hot as it was a few years ago, many workers still just don't feel like they're getting ahead.
She says workers are still getting raises, but those raises are getting a lot smaller. That is due to a slowing labor market. It is 9:03. The Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. First, though, time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic with Smiling Mark McKay.
All right, Cheryl, slow into the sunshine, passing Truist Park, the Battery, 285 north and eastbound. Still a bit of a struggle past I-75 in the Chattahoochee River into Sandy Springs. I-75 through Kennesaw and Marietta is okay. Cobb Parkway is not. Still only one left lane live on the Jam Cam, getting by an injury crash southbound Cobb Parkway at Barrett Parkway. And improving out of Bartow County. Crash looks to be cleared now. I-75 southbound past Highway 140, exit 306. Latest in Midtown, downtown Atlanta, Ashley Frasca.
Still on the brakes between University Avenue and I-20, headed 75-85 north. Getting a little more crowded on the connector southbound for your ride passing Georgia Tech 85 south. Crowded from Brookhaven beginning past Claremont. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upward. Sunny skies today, high 81, lows tonight in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high near 80. Saturday, a mix of sun and clouds, high 82.
And right now, sunshine, 61 degrees in Kennesaw. You're at 63 in Noonan, 60 degrees in Woodstock. We'll have more news for you at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
9:05 on another beautiful morning here in Atlanta. Mark Arum and crew bending your ears for the next 3 hours while I'm enjoying this miraculous autumn weather. We are in the midst of a drought, believe it or not. Christina Edwards going to join us in a little bit, talk about the drought conditions here in Atlanta. Huge local story. You just heard Cheryl talk about it. The resignation of the Cobb County School Superintendent. Jonathan O'Brien's going to join us live in 30 minutes. In-depth coverage on a really big story from Atlanta's biggest school district. So we'll go in depth with that. If anyone listening actually everyone listening right now, you should be thinking about your retirement. Whether you're 18 or 88, retirement should be top of mind to you. There's one thing that Americans are not factoring in when they plan for their retirement. Really interesting story. Amy Peakey from Money Watch is going to join us a little bit later on the show. Obviously, we're going to update Israel and Hamas. I want to start, though, day 16 of the government shutdown. Let's go to the nation's capital. White House correspondent John Decker. John, good morning. Busy day yesterday in the West Wing. President Trump and the FBI director met with the press yesterday. What did Trump and Kash Patel have to say?
Well, the president, first of all, touting the fact that crime statistics show that crime was down over the summer this year, 2025, compared to those same months in 2024. So the president essentially taking a victory lap for that. And the president also talking about how he intends to send in federal law enforcement officials, maybe even the National Guard, to other cities. He mentioned for the first time the possibility of sending in the Guard to San Francisco. So that's something new. Yesterday, I interviewed the governor of Louisiana, Jeff Landry, at the White House, and he had just met with President Trump. And Governor Landry told me that this time next month, the National Guard will be on the streets of New Orleans. So that's something new that we hadn't heard from before. And so the president continuing his focus on bringing down crime rates in major cities all across the country.
Those crime statistics that the president referenced, those are nationwide crime stats, John?
Yes, they're nationwide. nationwide. And in addition to that, he spoke about how the crime rate is down significantly in the nation's capital. And of course, that was the first city in which the president deployed the National Guard. That it's much easier to do it in Washington, D.C. rather than some of these other cities because the D.C. charter allows the president to deploy the National Guard in the nation's capital.
White House correspondent John Decker joining us on the Mark Arum Show. Before I move on to a story about China, government shutdown day 16. Any likely progress coming today, tomorrow, or through the weekend?
No progress. There is a vote taking place today, but I don't see anything changing in terms of whether or not we get to the 60 votes necessary to move that legislation forward. Seems very unlikely, unfortunately. And so the Senate will leave town today. They'll come back next week, and we'll have another week that will starting in which we are still in a federal government shutdown.
All right, moving to China, ongoing trade war there. Talks underway with China about tariffs and rare earth minerals. That popped up earlier this week and at the end of last week about China's dominance when it comes to rare earth minerals.
Well, that's right. And yesterday I was at a press conference in the morning at the Treasury Department, the Treasury Secretary, and the United States Trade Representative taking some questions. And they talked about how the United States is not going to blink, as it relates to this trade war with China. President Trump plans to meet with President Xi. That will be in a few weeks. That will be on the sidelines of the APEC summit, which takes place in South Korea. So hopefully either before or perhaps at that meeting, they will resolve their differences and end this trade war, or at least have a pause in the trade war while negotiations continue.
Finally, John, were you in the White House yesterday when President Trump basically authorized CIA action in Venezuela?
I was. The president confirmed that. The president says that they've taken care of the issue of illegal drugs coming into the U.S. by sea, and he believes that that's what's happening, originating in some cases from Venezuela. And the president has authorized clandestine actions inside Venezuela itself. So the president did not talk about regime change specifically, but there is no doubt that they believe that Nicolas Maduro, who leads Venezuela, is governing illegally based upon the fraudulent vote that took place last year. They very much would like to see the opposition leader replace Maduro. That seems unlikely unless there is indeed some activity or involvement by the U.S. military in making that kind of regime change.
No shortage of news coming out of the White House. White House correspondent John Decker. John, as always, appreciate your time.
Thank you. Have a good one, Mark. Bye-bye.
Thanks, John. A lot of big stories out of the White House, including that Venezuela story. We'll go back to D.C. a little bit later on that. But sadly, got to talk about more scams here. 2 scams organized by transnational organized crime groups targeting primarily elder folks, stealing billions from a vulnerable population. Joining us live from ABC News crime and terrorism analyst Brad Garrett. Brad, these scans just keep coming and coming. What can you tell us about these 2 new ones?
So quickly, let's talk about 2. One I'm going to call the Bitcoin ATM scam. The following happens. They target, as you said, elderly people. They do their homework. They figure out, the background, where they live, what bank they go to. They call them up and say, they represent fill in the blank bank. And they may have to talk to you a while and be chummy and, provide information that they would typically know if, in fact, they did work at the bank, and convince the person there's a security issue at the bank and they're asking folks to withdraw their money from the bank and temporarily put it into Bitcoin. Now, Mark, obviously a lot of people just hang up on them, but, they're working off the numbers here, and they get a percentage of people that bite. And if they get them to bite, they then say, okay, we're going to send a car to pick you up and take you to a Bitcoin ATM machine, which you're going to have at various places, I think, in Atlanta. And so they take them there and they start feeding the money into the machine. And, it will tell you to beware of scams at the machine because it is a huge problem with Bitcoin. You think you're putting into your Bitcoin wallet. You're actually putting into the bad guy's Bitcoin wallet. And the problem is you'll never see that money again because these machines aren't designed to give you anything. It's all about converting and depositing money and converting it to Bitcoin. So that's one. The other one I'm going to call the grandparent scam, which has been out for a while with, I think, a new twist. They, again, target somebody, they've done some homework, and they use AI to mimic the voice of a grandchild, boy or girl. And so they call up, quote unquote, grandma or grandpa and say, hey, I just got arrested. I'm in trouble here. I had a wreck. It was my fault. I hit a woman who's 8.5 months pregnant. She's willing not to press charges if we give her, X amount of money.
Oh, boy.
And again, they get people to bite on that. Then the pretend grandson turns the phone over to a pretend lawyer who then negotiates, tells them why legally this would work, so forth and so on, and then makes arrangements on how the grandma's going to get the money to the bad guys.
That's insane. Let me go back. I mean, there's a special place in hell for these scamsters. But going back to the Bitcoin one, obviously that, once that money is in that Bitcoin ATM, it's gone for good. I struggle to find that. I mean, most people my age don't know much about Bitcoin, let alone, octogenarians. I find it hard to believe that they would empty their account and then go to a Bitcoin ATM. That seems like the hit percentage from the scammers would be pretty low on that one.
Yeah, I don't think we know what the hit is. All I can tell you is we're talking a lot of money, hundreds of millions of dollars, if not into the billions. And this is transnational organized crime that does this. But, that's a big term. That doesn't mean that there's one outfit I'm making this up, in Eastern Russia that's doing it. I mean, they're all over the place. They're typically not going to be here. But, as you well know, once that money gets into the virtual, what I'll call virtual Bitcoin world,
gone.
I mean, you're done.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Final question for you, Brad, real quick. Your Social Security number, please.
Nice try.
Brad.
I am old, but I'm not that old. How's
Brad,
that?
I really appreciate the heads up on these two scams. And again, these are organized crime groups. They know what they're doing. I just can't imagine my dad, falling for that Bitcoin scam, but then emptying out his accounts and then driving to a Bitcoin ATM and deposit like that. I don't know, but you got to be careful, and it's of all ages. I'm sure Vinny is ripe for scams as much as his grandma. So please be. Speaking of Bitcoin, this is pretty crazy. $15 billion in Bitcoin was seized by the authorities. What's the backstory on this, Deborah?
Yeah, so the Fed seized about $15 billion in Bitcoin, and it was allegedly fraud money that was used for laundering schemes about trafficking people in Southeast Asia and then defrauding people here in the States too. So they alleged that the workers were held against their will, and they were at these compounds, and they were forced to participate in cryptocurrency scams, probably recruiting people online, all of that stuff that we just talked about with Brad Garrett, doing fake investment scams. And eventually they caught this guy, Chen Jing of Cambodia, but he had these forced labor compounds, and they were able to track him down. Now he's on the run, but he's been charged with wire fraud, conspiracy, money laundering, and they said it was about $127 in Bitcoin, which is $15 billion in regular cash.
I thought, again, I own no Bitcoin. I own no crypto. I'm not an expert. But I thought one of the allures of Bitcoin was it was government proof. Like the government couldn't seize Bitcoin. I could be wrong on that.
Maybe they've changed the laws on that.
Yeah, I don't know. So that guy is on the run, but he's out $15 billion in Bitcoin. I could be a Bitcoin billionaire right now, or at least a millionaire. Back when I used to play online poker, when you'd cash out, and it's now it's kind of legal, but back then it was the wild, wild west. And you could cash out I want to cash out $300. They're like, okay, do you want American dollars or do you want Bitcoin? And this was like the 2007-ish, maybe before then. And I'd be like, I don't want. What are you talking? No, just give me $300 in cash. Vinny, find out what $300 in Bitcoin in 2007 is now worth, so I can cry very hard. Sigh. All right, we're going to update our top local stories when we come back. One of the biggest local stories will go in depth at 9:35. The resignation of the DeKalb County School Superintendent, Jonathan O'Brien from WSB Radio. Our intrepid reporter has been covering that story. He will join us live after the news at 9:30. Right now, though, we got to check the Thursday morning ride around the city of Atlanta. Let's say hello and good morning to Mike Shields.
Hey, good morning, Mark. And it's that time of the day where roadwork sets up into Cobb County. I-20 eastbound getting past Wesley Chapel Road to Panola Road, so things slowing quickly as you leave I-285. And speaking of slowing, watching a crash on the Jam Cam in Kennesaw, Cobb Parkway southbound, right at Barrett Parkway. Very busy intersection near KSU. The right lane's blocked on Cobb Parkway southbound, but 2 right lanes are blocked on Barrett Parkway westbound, so jamming up that entire intersection just west of I-75. This report is brought to you by Staples. Have you heard the Staples Easy button is back with even more easy? Press it for custom prints, shipping services, and even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
Eric Erickson.
Informative and topical when you want it.
And he's involved in keeping Chinese communist students at American University. And a break when you need it. I forgot to leave food out for the cat. Can you go check on the cat? Eric Erickson. By belittling other people, you show your tribal loyalty.
Today, starting at noon, 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
My holiday lights are up, the ladder's in the garage, and I'm safe inside. Wise Guys Lights handles everything, install, maintenance, and takedown, and first-time customers save $150 when they mention me, Chris Chandler, before October 31st. Don't wait, book now at wiseguyslights.com.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save, but in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Question for the sports fans out there. How many times has this happened to you? There's 1, 2, 3, up to 4 games going on at once that you want to watch. You want to watch them all, but up until now, you can't do it. That is until now. Hey, it's Mark Arum here. It's happened to me multiple times. So many games on at the same time, and I want to watch them all. But now, thanks to Xfinity's Multi-View, I can enjoy up to 4 multiple live events at once on the same screen. Yes, 4 teams playing. You've got an interest in all 4 of the games. With Xfinity Multi-View, you can now watch 4 simultaneously. That's like the greatest invention in sports history since the invention of the basketball hoop by James Naismith. Unbelievable. Xfinity Multi-View. If you are a sports fan, you got to check it out. It's a game changer for my friends at Xfinity. Get all the information online at Xfinity.com or visit your local Xfinity store today.
Cooler weather, shorter days, busy schedules, all great reasons to treat your family to a Bullfrog hot tub from Brown's Pools and Spas. The perfect place to relax and unwind. Only Bullfrog offers the Jetpack Therapy system. Each seat is customized to fit every body in your family. Now through October 20th, receive a free premium water care upgrade, up to $1,500 in instant rebates, plus special financing for up to 120 months. Brown's Pools and Spas, celebrating 50 years of BrownsPools.com.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Fall is a busy time, and selling your home can be overwhelming. Get a guaranteed cash offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and sell your home stress-free and for the most money. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Be an early bird and save on your Thanksgiving turkey today. Select frozen USDA Grade A Butterball whole turkeys are 99 cents a pound with your card. Limit 2. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We all recognize this song, right? You have any idea where this is from, Deborah? You're a music.
So the latest one I remember is the "It's What's for Dinner" campaign that was used in
beef.
the '80s.
Yeah.
Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Like
yeah,
it's been in westerns.
yeah, it's a good old Chuck Wagon song.
Yeah. So I mean, everyone knows this tune, but apparently it debuted in a ballet 83 years ago today. The ballet was called Rodeo, with music by Aaron Copland and choreography by Agnes DeMille. It debuted at New York's Metropolitan Opera House. This is the famous hoedown section. Wasn't it in? This was in like the Wyatt Earp movie. That'd be a great ringtone.
It was in Tombstone. Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
If people had ringtones still, that would be a great ringtone.
Still put ringtones on your phone.
Yeah, but no one has them anymore. Anyway, that came from a ballet. So all you ballet haters out there, like me, that actually came from
Beef. It's what's for dinner.
What's for dinner? Day 16 of the government shutdown. No end in sight to the federal budget shutdown. Rachel Scott from ABC has more in D.C.
16 days into the shutdown, more than 4,000 workers have been let go. Typically, workers are furloughed, not fired. But the president trying to pressure Democrats to back off their health care demands, saying he will eliminate programs important to them.
And they're going to be terminated on a permanent basis. And it's thousands of people, and it's billions of dollars.
Democrats holding firm on their health care demands to extend expiring Obamacare subsidies.
Federal judge blocking some of these layoffs from the Trump administration. Obviously, a big story. We've been focusing, Deborah, on the jobs and the furloughs, but there are a lot of programs that are now not operable because of the government shutdown, including the SNAP program, right? That's the food. We used to be called the food stamp program.
We used to call it food stamps, but now it is called SNAP. So if you rely on SNAP to buy groceries, the USDA is saying probably by the end of the month, they're not going to have enough funds. So you might not get your, you have those debit cards that are automatically reloaded. Chances are a lot of people might not have those reloaded if the government shutdown continues. Now, if they are able to work something out in these next couple days, it should be okay. But now they're trying to work on some other plans to see what they can do to help those families. But otherwise, they're just kind of out of luck.
Now, I know a lot of folks listening are like, the SNAP program, food stamps, like get a job. And I understand there's definitely abuse on that system. I think we've probably all seen it firsthand. But there are legitimate needs for that. Like you and I have been paying into that for our entire working lives. God forbid we get laid off. Like I would take advantage of that SNAP program. There's families out there that actually need it. And
you think about the students that get fed at school.
Yeah.
Like all of that goes away without some of these SNAP programs
Yeah.
at home. They don't have anywhere else to eat.
I mean, that's a big deal. So I can only imagine, like, think of a single mom with 4 kids, husband dead or whatever, and relies on those SNAP benefits with the government shutdown, won't have the money to feed their kids. One more related. This was from former U.S. Senator Kelly Loeffler, now heading up the Small Business Administration. The agency, the SBA, has stopped guaranteeing loans during the government shutdown. Now, that might not impact a lot of us, but the SBA guarantees small bank loans to businesses, which equates to about $170 million to $300 million to businesses every day. Dang. So if you're a small business and you're looking for a loan from the SBA, you are SOL. SBA, SOL, as the government shutdown continues. There's so many layers to the government shutdown story, and those are two, on way both sides of the spectrum. SNAP benefits going away and bank loans to small businesses going away. Can you imagine you've been prepping for this small business? You're going to open an empanada shop, and you're ready to open, and you're waiting for the SBA loan to come in, and then
And small businesses are going to get hurt a lot harder than like nationwide chains are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So government shutdown day 16. Again, we'll go back to D.C. for the latest on that. But as White House correspondent John Decker told us earlier in the show, it looks like no relief in sight. And this shutdown is going to keep on going and going and going. News, weather, and traffic in 2. When we come back in depth on our top local story, the resignation of the DeKalb County School Superintendent. Really big story. Jonathan O'Brien live next with that on The Mark Arum Show.
Finley Roofing, the roof guys know that furry friends are family, and some need our help. In keeping with their connection to the community, Finley Roofing presents WSB's Dog of the Month. This Friday, we'll highlight a dog from Paws Atlanta. If you adopt them, Finley Roofing will pay your adoption fees. Listen Friday morning at 8:50 and visit WSBradio.com/dog. Dog of the Month is presented by Finley Roofing, the roof guys, Paws Atlanta, and 95.5 WSB.
Hey, friends, have you filed an insurance claim for a roof replacement only to be denied? Are you not sure what to do? You're not alone. Dr. Roof here to help. Hey, it's Mark Arum. Dr. Roof specializes in reviewing the storm damage and getting your roof replaced. They've been around for over 37 years and can help you with all of your options. Don't settle for a denied or partial insurance claim. Get the roof you deserve with Dr. Roof. Online at drroof.com.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual-eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual-eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
Good morning to you at 9:30. I'm Cheryl Castro. News brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Our top story, some DeKalb County residents say it's time for serious change within the school district beyond the resignation of indicted Superintendent Dr. Horton. Joel Edwards with the group Renew DeKalb says the district needs a clean slate to move forward.
From my perspective, in my opinion, I think that the members of the board, all the board members need to go.
Edwards says the school board should have seen the problems coming. He points to transparency problems during Horton's hiring process. Well, happening today, the father of a baby found dead in Clayton County is expected to make a courtroom appearance for new charges in his son's death. Antonio Pierce is charged with malice murder in the death of 6-month-old Nakai Pratt. Now, the baby's mother has also been arrested. Nicolette Pratt is charged with obstruction and false statements. Police say they are looking into her role in the crime. U.S. officials say they don't believe that Hamas is violating the ceasefire deal with Israel, although they have failed to produce the bodies of more deceased hostages. Hamas says it needs special equipment to reach the rest of the bodies.
We've already had President Trump saying it's a gruesome process. Some of these bodies have been there a long time. Some of them are under rubble. Some of them are in tunnels, he said. They're way down in the earth, basically saying it's going to take time.
That's Yolande Nell reporting. Israel today is marking the anniversary of the October 7th attack that was started by Hamas with several ceremonies. The memorials delayed by a religious observance last week. Well, Bank of America is being sued for allegedly knowingly providing financial services that enabled Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking operation. The plaintiff is a woman who says she was abused by the late sex criminal and was told to open a Bank of America account in which money was regularly deposited. Gwinnett County installs on-site prescription medication collection boxes at its police headquarters building and at every precinct in the county. Residents can drop off expired or unwanted pills, tablets, capsules, and liquids Mondays through Fridays from 8 to 4.
People get their prescriptions and they potentially don't use all of them. They just have them laying around for months or years on end. They can become a hazard to small children or others getting into them and causing problems.
Corporal Ryan Winterweedle says it's an effort to help reduce the risk of prescription medication misuse and opioid addiction. It's also hoped to prevent meds from entering the water supply. Well, Nestle is cutting jobs, this despite posting better than expected quarterly results.
The Swiss food giant plans to slash 16,000 jobs. Nestle, which has operations in Georgia, said the cuts amount to about 6% of the global workforce and will take place over the next 2 years. The company's third quarter sales rose and beat expectations. Gains were driven in part by higher prices for its products, which range from Nespresso coffee to Purina pet foods. A new CEO started just last month. I'm Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti for 95.5 WSB.
A WSB recall alert. Check your pantries. Ben's Original is recalling some of its rice products because they may contain small stones. The recall applies to its whole grain brown, long grain rice, and long grain and wild ready rice products. They all have a best by date of August 2026. The recall products were sold at several retailers, including Target, Piggly Wiggly, and Amazon. Ben's Original says so far no injuries or illnesses have been reported. It is now 9:33. Time to check traffic and weather. Mike Shields now live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
And Cheryl, back to Kennesaw, where crash right now blocking all lanes of Bear Parkway westbound right at Cobb Parkway due to an injury crash as Cobb police try to clear that crash. So delays quickly forming. You can use maybe old Highway 41 off of Highway 41 as kind of work your way around that crash. A new crash in southeast Atlanta, Moreland Avenue northbound at United Avenue. That's in a right lane causing delays as you try to work your way up to I-20. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upward. Sunny skies today, high 81, lows tonight in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, highs in the upper 70s to low 80s. A mix of sun and clouds on Saturday, high 82.
And right now, sunny 63 in Swanee. You're at 65 in Decatur, Smyrna 64 degrees. More news coming up at 10 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
When the news matters to you.
The FAA says the flight crew was reporting possible smoke in the flight deck.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
Beef prices are going up.
Your 24/7 news source.
They had no ties to a gang, but they were killed by
when
them.
you need the story, all you need to do is listen. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's breaking news station.
Coming up next, the Cobb County School Superintendent is out. Why and what happens next? In depth on a massive local story. 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
Are you starting to consider a new roof, but not sure if it's needed or what it might cost?
Tim Andrews, if you're going to impersonate Scott Slade, you might want to add a little bottom.
A little bottom to it.
A little bass, yes.
I'm working on that.
Well, you don't have to impersonate me. We're both here for FGA Roofing.
I know them.
FGA Roofing offers their free drone assessment. You'll know if it just needs a fix, a rejuvenation, or a new roof. They'll quote you a price, and if you mention Scott Slade, they'll take $750 off the quote.
What about me?
Mention Tim Andrews, they'll take $750 off the quote.
That's $1,500.
If you mention both of us. And here's the best part. That quote is good for 1 year.
With your good credit, you can take advantage of their 000 offer. That's 0 down payment, 0 payments for 18 months, and 0 interest.
They offer all types of roofs, from architectural or any of the high-end roofs like Slate.
Take the first step now and set up an appointment at FGAroofing.com. That's FGAroofing.com.
Or just Google FGA Roofing.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
To accept the resignation of Dr. Devon Q. Horton, effective November 15th, 2025.
That's what went down. DeKalb County School Superintendent, his resignation was accepted by the school board, a massive local story. We're going to go in depth right now here on the Mark Arum Show, covering the story for us, WSB Radio's intrepid reporter Jonathan O'Brien. J.O.B., good morning, my friend.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
This is such an interesting and really impactful story. DeKalb County, one of the biggest school districts in the state of Georgia. Let's start at the beginning of this story, I guess, which would be the superintendent, Devon Horton. Horton,
yes.
Was indicted for allegations when he was the school superintendent of a school district in Illinois. Let's start with there. What was he accused of in Illinois?
Right. Well, he is accused in what they're calling a kickback scheme, an improper use of funds and things like that. Basically, he was favoring friends when it came to school contracts and use of school money. And those allegations are now leading the DeKalb County School Board to actually do an audit of all of their finances because they're concerned by these allegations.
So apparently, allegedly, what happened in Illinois, Horton allegedly failed to disclose personal or financial ties to companies awarded professional services contracts by the district. That was from the federal indictment. Horton and 3 co-defendants accused of forming 3 companies that would eventually gain contracts with the school district, which is jaw-dropping, and then receiving kickbacks on those contracts. So that story broke. He was in DeKalb County as the superintendent, hired back in
23, I believe.
Okay, 2023. So those allegations came to light. What happened next? What did the DeKalb School Board do? What did DeKalb County Schools do?
Right. Well, he was immediately put on administrative leave following this announcement of his indictment. And it looked like they were going to kind of let the process play out. In the state of Georgia, if a public official is indicted or facing an indictment, things like that, the governor appoints a 3-person commission to look into those allegations and find out whether or not the person should be removed from office. So it appeared for a moment that was how the process was going to play out, that it was something might be handled by the governor's office. But of course, the DeKalb School Board yesterday making that decision to accept the resignation of Dr. Devon Horton as this process plays out.
Dr. Horton making almost $400,000 a year as DeKalb County School Superintendent. Now, we heard the audio there of the school board accepting his resignation. Did he really resign, or was that firing?
Right. Well, it's Mark, I think he was probably asked to leave. I don't know. The DeKalb School Board yesterday took no questions after accepting that resignation. It was a very short meeting following a 7 or 9 hour executive session. They were behind closed doors pretty much all day discussing this. But I spoke with several folks in the community, some community advocates, and we had that on Atlanta's Morning News today. And the thing that they kept coming back to was his salary, which you just mentioned. They feel the board dropped the ball, and many believe that they shouldn't have accepted his resignation. They should have fired him.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder if that matters as far as I would imagine if he resigns, he's not getting paid during this investigation. If he had been fired, maybe, I don't know how that works logistically behind the scenes. But I would imagine after the allegations that came up in Illinois, there's going to be some sort of investigation or audit of his time as DeKalb County Superintendent to see if anything similar happened here.
Right, that's exactly right. And that's what the school board is ordering. Now, I did speak with one member of the community, and just from their perspective, they said they did not feel that this audit that the school board is pursuing and proposing from their perspective is enough. They want a true outside person to really dig into the finances of the school district, do a top and, from the top to the bottom review of every level of the DeKalb County School District.
And has there been any criticism thrown at the DeKalb County School Board during all of this?
Yes, yes, a lot. And I heard that many times yesterday. A lot of calls for the entire board to resign. They feel that the board dropped the ball. They should have seen this coming. And Mark, back in 2023, when Dr. Horton was appointed to the position, I spoke with several folks in the community, including the local NAACP chair and some of the advocates you heard on Atlanta's Morning News today. And they were concerned that the process for selecting Dr. Horton was not transparent. So from their perspective now, this has been a problem. Even the problem with Dr. Horton started before he even arrived in DeKalb County.
Jonathan, I should know the answer to this, but I don't. What was it? The school board that ultimately hired Dr. Horton?
Yes.
So,
Yes, it
so
was.
his coming from Illinois to Atlanta was firmly on the shoulders of the DeKalb County School Board. They were the ultimate hiring entity.
Right, and he was the sole finalist for that job. And DeKalb, over the years, Mark, I know you've been in, following the news here in Atlanta for decades. They've had a lot of problems
Yes.
Since 2002 with their school district heads.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Jonathan. So Horton was the third superintendent to lead DeKalb County Schools since 2020. Three since 2020, and the eighth to hold the position since 2010. So the turnover there at DeKalb County Schools is enormous. And I guess I want to know, Jonathan, what happens next, right? We're going to be watching the federal indictments in Illinois. But, locally, I want to know there's got to be, and this is maybe something the governor has in his purview, to get in there and audit and see, all right, what has Dr. Horton done in his tenure as DeKalb school superintendent? Did he do those things that he's accused of in Illinois here in Georgia?
Right, exactly. And there's actually a special legislative committee that's been formed. The members tell me that they are going to approach this with an open mind, but that they want to know more about what happened. They also want to know more about the selection process for superintendents. This is going to be a panel made up of members of the DeKalb County, Georgia House delegation. And they say they want to hear from parents, they want to hear from school officials, and they want to hear from officials in other school districts to just kind of compare how DeKalb operates and how these other districts might operate, especially when they're selecting a school superintendent. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. They say they really want to create a forum for parents to vent their frustrations and get their questions answered, and then hopefully come up with some sort of legislative solution.
In the meantime, Jonathan, is the county leaderless, or has there been an interim superintendent appointed?
There is an interim superintendent appointed, Dr. Sauce, and he will serve in that role. Dr. Horton's resignation, from my understanding, is effective on the 15th of next month, I believe.
Oh, all right. So a month, I guess a month of paychecks.
Right.
For Dr. Horton. All right. Really, really important story. Jonathan, great stuff as always, my friend. And listen, any new information drops, you just hit me up on the Piccadilly text line. We'll get you right back on the air.
Thanks, Mark.
There you go. Jonathan O'Brien from Atlanta's Morning News. Really important story. And I mean, maybe I'm a little too hyper-focused on this because I live in DeKalb County. My wife's an educator. My parents were educated. My dad used to be a superintendent of schools. So I know how it's supposed to be done. What's going on here allegedly is not. But I do want to say this. I think a lot of people are like, well, that's too much money to be a school superintendent, just shy of $400,000, which is a lot of money. But that's he's basically the CEO of the DeKalb County school system, whoever replaces him, with tens of thousands of employees and hundreds of thousands of kids. I think that's not out of line. I think a lot of attention is going to be paid attention to the school board, though, in DeKalb County. Now, that's a thankless job. If there's any job that I would not want, it'd be a school board member. Like Deborah, how much do we hate meetings, you and I?
Oh my gosh, meetings.
Yeah.
I mean,
we have one meeting every 2 weeks. And I mean, no offense to the boss who has the meetings, but
they're helpful, but it's just like it's meeting day.
And it's like 30 to 45 minutes. And it's like we dread it, not because it's just a meeting. Ugh. That's one thing I do love about this job is I don't have to do a lot of meetings. But that's all you do as a school board member. Like, that's a thankless job. I wouldn't want to be school superintendent either. That's a lot of responsibility. I'm happy where I am. I'm content where I am right now. Although, if you're watching at the live stream on WSBRadio.com or on YouTube, I'm currently sitting. Unlike Eric Von Hessler, who stands. See, when I stand, you just get a shot of what's going on here on my chest, which is not great to see. Bottom line is I'm not in good shape. I'm not very physically fit. And I think part of it is the job because I sit all the time. But there are some jobs that you can have and get paid and be really physically fit. The fittest jobs available right now, Deborah.
Yeah, less people going to traditional college looking into the trades, which might be good because it will help you stay a little bit more fit. So some of them that are listed here because of the work that you do, you're on your feet, you're up and down. They've got things like painters, right? Have you ever painted a room before?
Not like an artist painter.
Like paint a house.
House painting,
right?
okay, yeah.
That's exhausting. Just painting a room is exhausting.
Look at the Miyagi training.
Yeah, right?
Up and down, side to side. Like Daniel-san's arms were done at the end. All right, so painting, you can be a fit painter. All right.
Electricians on the list, along with bricklayer. Now, I tried to put bricks in our house, and that it was exhausting.
It is.
By the end, I only got like part of it done, and I was just beat for the rest of the day. Again, with home construction, plastering, carpenters, plumbers, and then number one on the list.
So plumbers, why we have the famous plumber's crack. If plumbers
that doesn't
are
mean
fit,
their pants fit. It just means that they're
all right.
fit. Yeah.
All right. So these are the fittest jobs,
Yeah.
jobs that will keep you physically fit as well as paid.
Right. I know a lot of people who wear the wrong size clothes.
Me.
They think they're wearing the right
Me,
size. Yeah.
as I'm wearing this double XL polo.
But your number one fittest trade is a landscaper, which makes sense, right? I mean, except for you, who has the push mower.
Yeah.
But they're out there all day. Just mowing the lawn's exhausting. Then they trim the trees or they collect everything. So it's an exhausting job.
I've had 3 physically demanding jobs in my life. Number 1 was snow shoveling. That is, you burn more calories shoveling snow than anything. I mean, I was in shape. I was fit when I did it, but that was exhausting. Second was being a dishwasher. That is you're on your feet for 8 hours nonstop. In a hot kitchen, just, your arms, you got to scrub off. That was a physically demanding job. And the third was when I worked in a bakery, having to bake bread and donuts and cakes. Again, the oven's on, it's hot, and you have to pull the dough for bread out of the mixer. And it's like 100 pounds worth of dough, and you got to pick. Those are my 3 most physically demanding jobs. Least physically demanding, right here. Actually, I was more physically fit when I was doing traffic because I at least have to stand up like Mike Shields does on Channel 2.
It's the weight I carry, Mark, every morning. Put on the comfy shoes, but that's okay. And you're doing pretty good on the interstates right now. You can just sit back and lean back on most of the interstates, except near the airport. Brand new crash right now in the left lane. 285 northbound, the inner loop as you approach Highway 166, exit 5. So already seeing the brake lights starting to glow as you leave Camp Creek Parkway. I expect they're going to clear this to the right shoulder, so watch out for all lanes to be blocked maybe in the next few minutes. Right now, if you're making your way through downtown, just volume 7585 northbound. That continues from University Avenue, getting past I-20 through the Grady Curve. This support is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Hurry, Mattress Firms upgrade your sleep, sell, and soon find your perfect bed and save big on better rest today. Mattress Firm, they make sleep easy. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
The way you should live your life is look at the way they're doing it at D.C. and then just run.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
Other people are getting away with it, so you should get away with it.
Eric Von Hessler. Today at 3.
Well, your best day ever would have been a Tuesday. Who knows?
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
They say nothing is certain in life except death and taxes, but here in Georgia, I want you to go ahead and add roaches to that list. They're everywhere. Can't avoid them, but you can protect your home and family from those nasty bugs. Mark Aram here for Breda Pest Management, the only folks I trust to get rid of roaches in my home. Did you notice I said in my home? Of course, it's the roaches inside that you want gone. That's why it's so ridiculous to me that many companies have stopped going inside homes. That's just an industry trick to save them time and money while leaving your home at risk. And they raise their prices, doing less and charging more. You better call Breda, friends. Breda's got your back, protecting the outside and inside of your home. Breda Pest Management, they handle bugs and critters like those disgusting roaches. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda. No need to be afraid of bugs.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Welcome to Window Wisdom with North Georgia Replacement Windows. We are here with the owners and experts, Ted Kirk and Jonathan Cullum. Tell me, Ted, why do you think buying new windows and doors can be so confusing and a difficult process for people?
We've been asking ourselves that question for years. That's why we make window and door shopping simple. Most companies offer vinyl windows disguised by terms like composite and PVC. They do this because vinyl windows do not hold up in our harsh Georgia climate. Their windows just can't compete with the Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows, so they just confuse people by saying things like vinyl composite when it's just another vinyl window.
So obviously you do not recommend any type of vinyl window. Can you share a better option with us?
Well, Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows are beautiful, not big and bulky like vinyl composite windows. The fiberglass will hold up to the weather and won't lose their energy efficiency over time. Infinity fiberglass windows are 8 times stronger and expand 87% less than vinyl composite windows.
So Ted, tell me, what's the big difference? What can I expect when I install a better quality window like Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows?
You will brighten your home with more daylight and bigger views. Our windows also improve your home's energy efficiency, your family's comfort, and the curb appeal. We've had many customers use us on multiple homes because of their experience and for the strong resale value.
Okay, all this sounds really good. So where can we check out the Infinity from Marvin fiberglass products?
You can only experience the Infinity from Marvin fiberglass difference with North Georgia Replacement Windows at your home or in our Alpharetta showroom.
Right now at North Georgia Replacement Windows, you'll save 18% off your project, plus up to 12 months no interest, no payment financing. Get all the details, ngwindows.com.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
We need to have places for people to go safely, where they can be warm and fed and taken care of. We're moving quickly to have that established, but it's taken some time. So some folks are in some really uncomfortable places.
That's Mark Roberts, incident commander of the Alaska State Emergency Operations Center. Typhoon hitting Alaska, or the remnants of a typhoon, but a serious weather issue there. No typhoons here in Georgia. And Christina Edwards, who joins us live in studio. Good to see you, Chrissy.
Thank you.
You've been providing such fantastic weather. I love this time of the year. I didn't even realize we are in an official drought right now.
Yeah, and we've been in a drought for about a month now. Now, it feels like it snuck up on us unless you've been paying attention and monitoring it. But this is what's known as a flash drought. Back in late August into early September, I was mentioning you're going to hear this term, flash drought. And people were like, but we got all that rain in May, June, and early July. How could we be in a drought? Well, it's because we had a stockpile of rain, but our precipitation needs haven't stopped. But the rain has stopped. So now we have drought conditions all across the metro area.
Flash drought.
Mm-hmm.
Are those occur often, infrequently?
So that is a phrase that started to become part of parlance back in 2021 because those who are trying to mitigate drought conditions are trying to help people understand that just because you got a whole lot of rain for a period of time doesn't mean that you're out of the woods with a drought. Because remember 2016, Sevierville had that really extreme wildfire, the Gatlinburg
Yeah.
fires, that occurred during a drought that came on very, very quickly. So a flash drought kind of get into people's minds that just because you had a whole lot of rain, now that you get into the fall months, it can really dry up very quickly.
Yeah, looking at my lawn, I should have known we were in a drought because I'm seeing those brown patches. But I didn't really know until, Deborah, you did the story about the shorter fall foliage seen in North Georgia because of this flash drought.
Mhm.
So how long is this flash drought going to last, Christina?
Well, quite frankly, I just posted an article on WSBradio.com.
Hold on.
Ding!
Here's my butler bell. Go ahead.
And so I have it up there. I have it posted. In fact, I'm looking at the same graphic that I posted on WSBradio.com. But Metro Atlanta, majority of our region is now in what's known as a moderate drought. And so that means that you're going to have impacts to your crops, to your lawn. But south of I-20, especially throughout Noonan, Fayetteville, the Fairburn area, and getting into Clayton County itself, that is now in a severe drought. So
Oh,
we're noticing
geez.
that the creeks are drying up, river levels are starting to get lower, and even tree mortality. So that means that some of our trees may start to die off.
Any relief in the future?
Yes, but also no. We need 5.5 inches of rainfall to end the drought. We'll only get about half an inch on Sunday.
All right. Well, it's something. It's
Something is better than nothing.
All right. Christina's going to update her 5-day forecast in just a couple of minutes here. We are in the middle of a flash drought. A flash drought. Good to see you, Chrissy. Thank you so much. All right. News, weather, and traffic in 2. When we come back, ICE now recruiting police officers from the city of Atlanta. I actually have a commercial recruiting them. I'll play the commercial and tell you what I think about the story next on the Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-Ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there. Good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Our top story this morning, a Clayton County father is going to be in court next hour facing new charges in connection with the death of his infant son.
Additional charges including malice murder, aggravated assault, and tampering with evidence are filed against Antonio Pierce just hours after his appearance before a judge in Clayton County. He's being held without bond after the discovery of his 6-month-old baby's body. Nakai Pratt was found near the apartment complex where he was reported missing. The baby's twin is in the care of the child's mother. Autopsy results on baby Nakai are still pending, and police have not discussed a possible motive in the case. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
And the child's mother also charged, Nicolette Pratt, behind bars. She's facing several charges, including obstruction and making false statements. Her bond has not yet been set. Your weather for today, sunny, staying warm, and a high of 81 this afternoon, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Some sanitation workers incoming are back on the job this morning. They voted to end a strike against Republic Services after a new deal was reached. Chuck Stiles with the Teamsters Local 728, he tells us.
I think their whole thing was they thought this was a small group they could crush. And the solidarity of these workers just absolutely got to the point. They said, we are not going to divide these folks.
So the agreement the Teamsters have made is a new 3.5-year contract that includes a 17% pay raise and paternity leave. A new legal fight over the White House move to fire federal workers during this government shutdown. Rachel Scott has the latest on that.
A federal judge ordering the White House to stop firing federal workers just as the administration threatens to double the number of layoffs. The judge saying the White House's tactics are very much ready, fire, aim on most of these programs, and it has a human cost that cannot be tolerated.
We are now in day 16 of the government shutdown. If you have expired or unwanted medications in your house and you want to get rid of them, you can now drop them off in Gwinnett County at the police station.
Unused medication left lying around can be a hazard to small children and others, and improper disposal can cause other concerns like contaminating the water supply. So Gwinnett Police have installed drop-off receptacles in all 6 police precincts and at the headquarters on High Hope Road.
Total of 7 locations where residents can come and dispose of expired or unwanted pills, tablets, capsules, or liquids.
Corporal Ryan Winderweedle says the containers are in the lobbies of each location. You can make drop-offs weekdays from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
And new this morning, some retailers are running into problems as the Treasury Department winds down production of the penny. Michael Wallace has more on that.
Some retailers have run out of pennies and can no longer make exact change, so they're urging customers to pay with plastic or a phone payment app. Others are rounding their transactions to the nearest nickel. Wake Forest University economics professor Robert Waple supports the end of the penny, a 1-cent coin that costs 4 cents to make.
Even if we could produce the penny for free out of thin air, it's just a waste of our time, and our time's valuable. Time is money.
Several Federal Reserve Bank sites have already stopped fulfilling orders for pennies.
All right, let's take a look at the markets. We're in the green this morning. The Dow's up slightly, NASDAQ up almost 0.5%. The S&P's also in the green. It's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Smiley Mark McKay has a look at your roads.
Morning, Sabrina. We are watching delays on the Perimeter Highway west side leaving the airport, all caused by a crash on the jam cam. Left lane is knocked out, 285 northbound, the air loop just above Camp Creek Parkway, exit 2. If you're leaving the airport area, heading into downtown, it is much improved on the connector northbound now, just a tap of the brakes. As you leave Georgia State Center Park Stadium up past the Varsity, southbound delays are still in place, 75-85 southbound as you leave 17th Street Atlantic Station, passing past Georgia Tech. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upward. Sunny skies today, high 81, lows tonight in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high near 80. Saturday, a mix of sun and clouds, high 82.
It is 65 degrees in Holly Springs, 67 in Jonesboro and Roswell. We'll have more news at 10:30, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Thursday morning to you. Mark Aram here, you there. It's 10:04, 4 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Aram Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. The whole family with us today. Deborah, executive producer of the program. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Down south, Vinny screens your calls. Coming up in 30 minutes, really important story that everyone listening needs to worry about. If you plan on retiring, if you're 21 or 61 or 81 and you want to be set for retirement, there's an aspect of retirement that a lot of Americans aren't focusing on. We are going to talk to Amy Peakey from Money Watch on a thing that goes underappreciated, undervalued, under-researched when it comes to our retirement plans. Really important story. That's coming up a little bit later in the show. Deborah, you have more tickets to give away today?
Another pair of tickets to go see Heart.
Heart! At Gas South Arena, courtesy of the Mark Aram Show. Obviously, some big stories in the news out of D.C. We'll go back to D.C. in a little bit. Day 16 of the government shutdown. President Trump confirming authorization of CIA action in Venezuela, and the latest on the Ukraine-Russia war and the Israel-Hamas peace deal. So another really busy day today. I want to talk about a story, and Deborah, I've actually seen this commercial on television, and it's usually on the cable news networks. And it is a commercial from ICE trying to recruit law enforcement officials here in Metro Atlanta. This is the audio of the commercial. You might have seen it too.
Attention Atlanta law enforcement. You took an oath to protect and serve, to keep your family, your city safe. But in sanctuary cities, you're ordered to stand down while dangerous illegals walk free. Join ICE and help us catch the worst of the worst. Drug traffickers, gang members, predators. Join the mission to protect America with bonuses up to $50,000 and generous benefits. Apply now. Join.ice.gov and fulfill your mission.
So that's a commercial that's been, I've seen it a bunch of times. Actively ICE, the federal Department of ICE, actively recruiting current law enforcement members in the metro area to join them. I don't like that as someone that lives in Atlanta. And it's nothing against ICE or their mission, but we've covered this, Deborah, for years, the shortage of law enforcement officers in Metro Atlanta, right? Recruiting's down for the GSP or APD or Cherokee County, whatever. Like, we're struggling to get all of the officers we need to police our streets, protect and serve, and keep us safe. I don't want to, I'm not saying ICE's mission isn't important, but I would rather have a fully staffed Decatur City Police, DeKalb County Police, City of Atlanta, Georgia State Patrol. To me, that's more important than ICE. Now, I am not going to judge, though, if a member of the law enforcement community, you heard that, bonuses up to $50,000. Listen, I love WSB Radio, but if B98.5 was like, hey, come join the Tad, Drex, and Kara morning show for a $50,000 bonus, I'd be like, Longoria, we're just going to slide over. Longoria hosts, Deborah screens, Longoria, Vinny runs the book. Like, I'm out. 50, that's a lot of money. But I also think, again, so I'm not judging if you take a $50,000 bonus, like that is probably a full year salary for some law enforcement folks.
They're also saying student loan forgiveness too, which is a big deal.
Absolutely. So I'm not judging if you are a police officer in one of the metro districts and ICE is like dangling a $50K bonus in front of you. You know, I'm not judging if you take that, but I think it's short-sighted for this reason. So let's just say hypothetically, I take that $50K bonus and go do mornings on B98.5. It's 50. It's a bird in the hand. Eventually, they're going to realize I'm not fit for the Tad, Drex, and Kara morning show on B98, and they're going to be like, all right, you've served your time. You're done. Go back to WSB if you can. If I come back crawling to WSB, Ken Charles is going to be like, get out of here. Longoria is doing your show now. We don't need you. I'm afraid that I don't know how long ICE is going to maintain this robust staffing. Right? If a Republican isn't elected president in the next presidential election, I don't think a Democrat's going to keep ICE up to the current level of staffing. So in 3 years, you might, let's just say you're a police officer at the City of Atlanta Police Department. You've been there 8 years. You're accommodated officer, but you're like $50,000. I got to go. So you go to ICE. 3 years later, it's a Democrat in Oval Office, and ICE recruitment, they slash the staffing of ICE. Is your former boss at the City of Atlanta going to hire you back? Probably not. Be like, no, you bailed on us, man. We needed you. We were understaffed already, and you left to join ICE. So, sorry, Charlie. Or it could be male or female Charlies. Sorry, no, I'm not hiring you back. So the allure of a $50K bonus, and that's life-changing money for a lot of people, for sure. Would be for me. Oh, my God, you give me $50K right now? Hell yeah. But in 3 years, if your position is eliminated at ICE, is your old boss going to hire you back? Are you going to have to go to another jurisdiction and start anew? Are you going to have to go to another state? Would that impact your pension? Like, what is there any information on ICE pensions? Because I know that's a big thing. All my buddies from college, I'm really jealous of them. They're all retiring now from law enforcement. New York Police, U.S. Marshals, New York State Police. They're like, I'm 52 and I got my pension. I'm out. Are you going to forego a pension from the City of Atlanta, from Georgia State Patrol, to get that $50,000? Again, I can't judge because $50K is $50K, but I think it might be short-sighted taking the $50K bonus and leaving a job you've been, protecting and serving. I do like the fact, though, that I'm going to play the commercial again. Can I play this again, Longoria?
Attention Atlanta law enforcement. You took an oath to protect and serve.
So I like that this isn't just like a Craigslist ad. It'd be like, anyone come join ICE. You out of work? No skills? Never finished high school? Come join ICE. We don't care. I do like the fact that they're like hiring people that are actually trained in law enforcement and won't go rogue on these ICE raids. So I do appreciate that. But I don't like the fact that if this recruitment effort works in the city of Atlanta or the metro Atlanta area, that are already overworked, short-staffed law enforcement folks might become even more short-staffed. As a citizen, a resident of the metro Atlanta area, I want more police. I don't want less police. I don't want them having to work longer hours. I don't want them to be short-staffed. I don't want to lose our best police officers to go to ICE. And maybe you think that ICE mission is noble, like the commercial says.
To keep your family, your city safe. But in sanctuary cities, you're ordered to stand down while dangerous illegals walk free. Join ICE and help us catch the worst of the worst. Drug traffickers.
Now maybe that's what you got into law enforcement, to catch the worst of the worst. And if so, then that is your call. That is your want. Then Godspeed. I'm just worried as an Atlanta resident, City of Decatur resident, DeKalb County resident, that we're going to lose some good officers, and I will be less safe for breaking and entering, carjackings, robberies. Less good men and women patrolling the streets because they went to ICE. And there's no I don't know if there's info, Deborah. If a City of Atlanta police officer joins ICE, is there any guarantee he stays in Georgia? Or they can ship him to Chicago or New Orleans or L.A. or...
No, it doesn't say that. It does say that it's running these ads in other big cities, too.
Yeah, this isn't just in Metro Atlanta. I would love to hear from folks in the law enforcement community on this. Whether you're active, retired, or someone that has taken this ICE offer. Are you tempted to go after that $50,000 bonus? And what do you think the impact would be locally? If more and more law enforcement officers take that $50,000 bonus, I should say it's up to $50,000. It's not guaranteed. I don't know what the prerequisites are there, but just as a resident, I'm wary of that. I don't want to lose our men and women in the blue. They keep me safe. They keep my wife safe. They keep my friends and coworkers. I don't want to lose them, and then have them shipped out to Oakland or Chicago or D.C. and doing ICE raids there. So if you're in law enforcement or you're retired or you're familiar with that, I'd love your opinion on the ICE ads. 404-872-0750, 404-872-0750. Vinny will screen your calls, or you can hit me up on social media. Most active on Twitter during the show, at Mark Arum, Markarum. All right, before we get to the calls there, I do want to update that story. President Trump in the White House yesterday basically saying he's authorizing a CIA action in Venezuela. CNN's Elena Treen outside the White House this morning.
Yeah, so those comments, Sarah, very striking, but they come after we know that the Trump administration had secretly authorized the CIA to carry out these covert missions and lethal targeting on the side of or on the Venezuelan coast, off the Venezuelan coast. And really, this is the latest part of his pressure campaign to really try and oust the authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro. Now, what we know as well is that for weeks that the U.S. military has been authorizing these different strikes, like I said, off the coast of Venezuela. They argue that they are targeted toward boats carrying drugs and other, potentially weapons into the United States. They say this is all about stemming the flow of drugs into the U.S. But those strikes have killed at least 27 people. Now, the president himself acknowledged that he had authorized the CIA to be doing this when he was talking to reporters yesterday. Listen to how he put it.
I authorized for two reasons, really. Number one, they have emptied their prisons into the United States of America. We have a lot of drugs coming in from Venezuela, and a lot of the Venezuelan drugs come in through the sea, so you get to see that. But we're going to stop them by land also. I think Venezuela is feeling heat, but I think a lot of other countries are feeling heat too.
Now, one thing that is still unclear that the president he kind of stopped short of saying in those remarks, is whether or not he believes that the CIA has the authority to try and remove Maduro from power, though we know from our conversations with people inside the White House that that is one of the goals that the president has here. Now, I should note that the president had updated the CIA authorization after we know, and around the same time, that he has signed a secret directive ordering the military to begin striking Latin American drug cartels earlier this summer. That's according to our sources familiar with some of the decisions on some of this. And look, I think a key question, of course, is, and we're seeing this now from so many people in Congress, not just Democrats, but also some Republicans, is whether or not this is legal. The idea that the CIA is now being able to carry out this type of lethal targeting, not only with these boats, but now we heard the president say, as you heard in those comments, that he wants to start targeting some of these cartels and other drug members on land. And so this has a very, it could very much escalate very quickly. And we know that the president only wants to ramp up these efforts. It comes, as we are hearing from Venezuelan leaders, including Maduro, arguing that this is not legal and that it violates international law. So a lot more to come on that.
Lena Trine at the White House this morning. Any developments on that, we'll bring them to you live here on 95.5 WSB. When we come back, a lot of folks want to chime in on the ICE recruitment of Metro Atlanta law enforcement officers. Right now, though, we got a travel advisory on I-285, live with the latest. Smiling Mark McKay.
Ooh, the latest is now it's a red alert as they clear this crash out of 2 left lanes. Mark, live on the Jam Cam. All lanes are being held. 285 northbound, north of Camp Creek Parkway, exit 2. So if you're hearing me out of Union City, you want to avoid the delays on the west side perimeter, take I-85 past Hartsfield Jackson. You can then hook up with a connector, take Langford Parkway back to the west side perimeter. But again, it's a temporary red alert on the west side perimeter, southwest Atlanta. All lanes being held. 285 northbound, the inner loop just above Camp Creek Parkway, exit 2. This report sponsored by the International Hot Rod Association. International Hot Rod Association and Durand Hybrid, where the roar of the engine meets the torque of the wrench, building champions on the track and in the trades. Get your tickets at ihra.com. Smile Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
Don't be late because you crowdsourced your commute with a navigation app.
This might become a travel advisory. Yeah, they're in 2 left lanes.
Depend on us.
See some delays if they shut that ramp down.
Make sure you get where you need to be on time.
Jam starting at Langford Parkway, getting past Spring Street.
Local and dependable traffic 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
We had a lot going on this morning through Henry County.
WSB Triple Team Traffic.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
There's so many things you want to upgrade on your home's exterior. You need experienced craftsmen who communicate and keep you comfortable through every step of your project.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus. Trust the Plus family of businesses for everything on your list.
Painting Plus, anything and everything exteriors at the highest quality. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more.
Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, save big on all Halloween candy. You can save 33% with your digital coupon. Selection varies by store. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Been wanting a new deck for your home, something that's built just the way you want it, but you're scared to pull the trigger? I can help you with that. Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations. Right now, Ben Hill Renovations are offering special financing. No interest if you pay in full within the 18 months promo period. You're welcome. Visit bhrenovations.com today and schedule a free design consultation at your home. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
As summer winds down, there's never a better time than to upgrade your AC system. Hey, folks, it's Mark Aaron back from my pals at Reliable. Check out this amazing end-of-season savings. Get any size AC, just $69.99 a month. Get your free consultation by going to ReliableAir.com. Check this out. 0 down, low monthly payments, all future repairs, maintenance, even filters are no additional charge for life, and unbeatable lifetime warranty, 24/7 service, and next day installation, or they pay you $500. Plus, summer might be officially over, but we know in Atlanta it's never over until we get to like December. So get an amazing deal, end of season savings from my pals at Reliable. Any size AC, just $69.99 a month. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at ReliableAir.com. Click on the Book Now button or call or text 770-594-9969.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Attention Atlanta law enforcement. You took an oath to protect and serve, to keep your family, your city safe.
That's a TV
But in
commercial you might have
sanctuary
seen playing here in Metro Atlanta. ICE recruiting active law enforcement officials in Metro Atlanta to join their cause, promising bonuses up to $50,000 to join ICE. A lot of folks wanted to comment on the story here in the Mark Arum Show. We'll start with Scott, who's been in law enforcement for 23 years. Scott, welcome to the program. Thanks for your time.
Hey, Mark, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
What's your take on this ICE recruitment push?
So let me start. I was with a law enforcement agency for 23 years, and I retired. It was with the Rockdale County Sheriff's Office, and the company I work for now is a great company. It's out of law enforcement, so, if anybody's listening, there's always life outside of law enforcement. But however, this company got bought out, and I was scared I was going to lose my job, so I was going to go back into law enforcement because that's all I've known since I was 19 years old.
Sure, yeah.
So I went to and applied for a couple different Metro Atlanta law enforcement agencies, and I went through the hiring process, and then they have that gimmick where we'll give you up to this amount of money. But what a lot of people, get tired, ICE is going to give you up to $50,000. But however, you got to read the fine print. When you go down to get into the nook and cranny of it, then you're never going to get the $50,000. It's going to be, we'll give you $10,000. And you got to relocate to Alaska. Something along those lines. So it's not always, the best thing in the world to let that try to deter you to go do something else.
So there's no guarantee that you're getting $50K.
No,
That's like the top of the.
At all.
Interesting. Now, you mentioned relocation. Do you think that if folks do sign up for that ICE recruitment here in Metro Atlanta, that they might be sent to another part of the country to work with ICE?
Oh, absolutely. you got to go with where everything's happening at. You know,
Yeah.
if it's not happening in Metro Atlanta, if it's happening on the Mexico border, or if it's happening on, you know, the border here, of course you're going to be sent there.
Yeah.
And that's
And
gonna be a
listen,
question-
that
that's going to be a question in your hiring process. Are you willing to relocate? Well, okay, well, if you are, then okay, we'll give you the 50, but if not, here's 10.
Yeah, well, that might be an incentive too for some recruits, right? Be like, oh, you know, I'm single, no kids. Let me go see the country. Hey, Scott, thanks for your service, man. I really appreciate it. John is up next on the Mark Arum Show. What's cooking, John?
Hey, how you doing today?
What's up, brother?
I was with ICE for probably 15 years. I work for Homeland Security now, but I'm not going to mention it because we've been having employees getting doxxed, and I'm not having that happen to
Sure.
me. What I can tell you is, what I can tell you for sure is that bonus is paid. The previous caller was sort of correct. The bonus is paid over a several-year process and maybe up to like a 3-year process if you hit certain stages of employment, like graduating the academy and then a year anniversary and so on. And as far as location goes, it's based on we are doing mostly interior enforcement now, so it's away from the border. Most people will get hired in the office of the region they live in if there is an office there that needs manpower. I will not tell you that they will not temporarily get assigned to places
Sure.
like Chicago that need.
John, can I
enforcement,
stop
but
you
those
right
are
there for a second? Because we got to take a break for the news. But I've got some follow-up questions. Do you mind hanging out for a couple minutes?
Sure.
All right. John, working for Homeland Security. Really interesting local story. ICE recruiting Metro Atlanta law enforcement officers. Your thoughts on that? 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. News, weather, and traffic in 2 on WSB.
Hi, I'm Dale with TrustDale.com. For over a decade, I've trusted America's Best Choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks. And with their 3-way warranty, including my $10,000 Make It Right guarantee, you can invest with confidence.
That's right, Dale. America's Best Choice offers highest quality, energy-efficient windows and special pricing on custom decks. We also offer beautiful siding, doors, and now roofing, all with no pressure, no gimmicks. Visit abcwind.com for your free in-home estimate. America's Best Choice. Quality you can trust, prices you can afford.
They say nothing is certain except death and taxes, but in Georgia, add roaches to that list. They are absolutely everywhere. Mark Arum here for Breda Pest Management, the folks I trust to get rid of roaches in my home. Many companies have stopped going inside homes and they raised their prices. Doing less, charging more, ridiculous. Breda, they handle bugs and critters inside and outside like those disgusting roaches.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's news and talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by your Metro Atlanta AMCO dealers. Well, as expected, neither side budging in the government shutdown mess. House Speaker Mike Johnson moments ago.
9 times the Senate Democrats have voted to keep the government closed. All the House Democrats except one voted September 19th to shut it down. So this is 10 total times now that Democrats in Congress have voted to close the government.
And we are now in day 16 as furloughed workers are still out waiting for Democrats and Republicans to get something done. Your weather for today, sunny skies, staying warm, afternoon highs around 81, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in about 2 minutes. Well, next hour, the Clayton County father of a 6-month-old baby found dead will be appearing in court. Antonio Pierce, now charged with murder in the death of Nakai Pratt. The child's mother, Nicolette Pratt, also arrested and charged. Police say they're trying to figure out her involvement in the case. So far, she's been charged with obstruction and making false statements. We'll be watching that for you this morning. Hamas says that it has returned to Israel the bodies of all the hostages that it can. Blake Sifton reporting from Tel Aviv that Israel is not accepting that explanation.
Defense Minister Israel Katz has threatened to resume fighting if Hamas does not honor the ceasefire deal, saying he ordered the military to prepare a plan to crush the group if the war restarts.
Now, Hamas contends that it has, quote, abided by what was agreed upon and has handed over all the living captives in its possession and the corpses that it could assess. The ceasefire agreement calls on Hamas to turn over the remaining 28 deceased hostages within 72 hours. Only 9 bodies have been returned so far. Hamas saying that it would take, quote, significant efforts and special equipment to recover the remaining bodies from the destruction in Gaza. We have an update this morning for Scythe County-based Fur Kids Animal Rescue saying that one of the kittens injured in this week's fiery accident on I-85 in Jackson County has now been released from the hospital. In an update this morning, Fur Kids saying that Morticia is now back with her foster. Morticia was among nearly 40 cats in a Fur Kids van involved in an accident which left an entire family of 8 in a different vehicle dead. 2 cats are still missing after running from the scene of that crash. The driver of a semi-truck has been charged in that accident. And this morning, we have learned that a former research lab chimpanzee has died at an animal sanctuary up in North Georgia. Project Chimps, which is a nonprofit sanctuary for chimpanzees formerly used in research labs, says 36-year-old Jamie passed away from kidney disease. That chimpanzee had been at the sanctuary since 2018. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is up 74 at 46,327. NASDAQ also in positive territory, up more than 0.5%. And the S&P is also in the green. It is time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Smile and Mark McKay is in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Watching a slow zone now in DeKalb County as you leave Flat Shoals, exit 48, trying to get into that busy and under construction I-20 interchange. May have a crash on 285 northbound just shy of I-20. We're scanning the jam cams now. Over the west side perimeter, crash that was a travel advisory is now working completely on the right shoulder in College Park. This is 285 northbound, the Interloop past Camp Creek Parkway, exit 2. Delays into Midtown. 75-85 southbound is crowding, leaving 17th Street Atlantic Station down to Georgia Tech. Inbound Stone Mountain Freeway is slow due to right lane construction on Highway 78 westbound past Brockett Road. Smile Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upward. Sunny skies today, high 81, lows tonight in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, highs in the upper 70s to low 80s. A mix of sun and clouds on Saturday, high 82.
It is 69 degrees in Conyers. Commerce has 67. Sandy Springs, you have 69 degrees. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Everyone has an opinion.
I've had some great Mondays. I'm having a good Monday right now. Look, it's beautiful outside.
Got that
nice loud shirt.
Eric Von Hessler has an opinion.
It's a citrusy, summery, I think breezy kind of shirt.
And some advice.
But just remember this.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
I never have and never will smoke a cigar.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
If it were up to Republicans alone, we would not be in this mess. We'd be up here negotiating and debating openly and transparently on the issues.
Speaker Mike Johnson
Americans'
this morning,
lives.
day 16 of the government shutdown still to come. We'll update the government shutdown when we come back, though. More local reaction to ICE actively recruiting law enforcement officers in Metro Atlanta. 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
Cooler weather, shorter days, busy schedules, all great reasons to treat your family to a Bullfrog hot tub from Brown's Pools and Spas. The perfect place to relax and unwind. Only Bullfrog offers the Jetpack Therapy system. Each seat is customized to fit every body in your family. Now through October 20th, receive a free premium water care upgrade, up to $1,500 in instant rebates, plus special financing for up to 120 months. Brown's Pools and Spas, celebrating 50 years of BrownsPools.com.
At Butler Lexus of South Atlanta, buying a car is more than a transaction. It's a 5-star experience because they value you. Enjoy personalized offers and luxury perks, all designed with you in mind. Visit ButlerLexusSouthAtlanta.com or call 800-NEW-LEXUS today. Butler Lexus South Atlanta, the standard of amazing.
Ghosts are for costumes, not for hiding in your air ducts and lurking through your home.
Who knows the amount of dust and pollutants just sitting in your ducts as we speak? It's Patrick, owner of Zerorez. Take control of your home and schedule a cleaning with the experts at Zerorez Air Duct Cleaning. For a limited time, mention WSB to get $50 off your next service, or use promo code AIR50 when scheduling online at ZerorezAtlanta.com. Zerorez, spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Millions of Americans use credit cards to purchase goods every day. The Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates put the secure transactions you rely on at risk, leaving you vulnerable to hackers and foreign cybercriminals that want your data. Hackers win, you lose. Guard your card before it's too late. Tell Congress your data security is not for sale and oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates.
Paid for by Electronic Payments Coalition.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Our firm handles hundreds of crash cases involving semi-trucks every year. A crash case involving semis is much different, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can leave lots of money on the table. Many times there is separate insurance for the cab and for the trailer. Sometimes there are actually layers of other insurances and excess insurance that some lawyers may not know about because they don't see that many cases. We see these cases every day. Also, there are federal laws governing the hours a driver may drive in a 24-hour period and logs that are required. A crash case involving a semi-truck is a totally different animal than a simple car crash. We have lawyers who only handle these cases. It's all they do. Rolling the dice with the wrong law firm can be disastrous. Call us on your cell phone at Pound Law, pound 529. It's so easy. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Dave Baker for Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Looking for a new truck and looking for a great deal? Simply go to beavertoyotacumming.com/Dave's Deals and save money on a new Toyota Tundra. The Toyota Tundra from Beaver Toyota of Cumming is the official truck of the Home Fix-It Show.
10:37 on the Mark Arum Show. Still to come back to D.C. Latest on day 16 of the government shutdown. Really important news if you are thinking about retiring, whether you're 16 years old or 96 years old. A new angle on retirement that we have not really been discussing. Last segment, we discussed this push by ICE now. Running television ads in the Metro Atlanta area, trying to recruit law enforcement folks onto ICE.
Attention Atlanta law enforcement. You took an oath to protect and serve, to keep your family, your city safe. But in sanctuary cities, you're ordered to stand down while dangerous illegals walk free. Join ICE and help us catch the worst of the worst. Drug traffickers, gang members, predators. Join the mission to protect America with bonuses up to $50,000 and generous benefits. Apply now. Join.ice.gov and fulfill your mission.
As a citizen, resident of Metro Atlanta, my concerns are, first, I don't want to lose law enforcement folks from our local jurisdictions, whether that's Georgia State Patrol, Atlanta Police, whatever. Because they're already short-staffed. And I also think it might be short-sighted for folks that jump on this ICE offer. ICE might not be employing folks at the level they are now 3 years from now. And then you lose that job, and then you got to go back hat in hand to the jurisdiction where you left. You might not get your job back. So want your reaction to the ICE recruitment push here in Metro Atlanta at 404-872-0750. 404-872-0750. Continue our conversation with John. Thanks for hanging on through the news break, John. You work for Homeland Security. Let's address my concerns there. Will if a number of folks in law enforcement in Metro Atlanta take ICE up on this offer, could that weaken the police department staffs here in the metro area?
I suppose due to manpower shortages, that especially some of the smaller departments, that it possibly could have effects on their ability to respond to crime. I'm not going to lie and tell you that, you know, any department, even the Department of Homeland Security, if we're short on manpower, it affects the mission. But as a whole, that's where police departments start. I was a local cop before I was a federal agent. Most local police departments start diverting people off of other specialized units back onto patrol. I'm not saying whether that's good or bad, because that's up to the individual department. But yes, it could affect their mission.
Do you, and you might not know the answer to this, but I raised up the question of pensions before, right? That's the gold. That's the gold at the end of the rainbow. Some of my best friends just now retiring from law enforcement. They love their pensions. Let's say hypothetically someone worked 8 years for Atlanta Police and then they leave to go to ICE. Does that impact their pension at all?
Well, as far as their state pension goes, I don't know when they're specifically vested within the state because I was not a local police officer within Georgia.
Okay.
I will tell you that federally we have both a pension, which is called the FERS plan, and we also have what's called the Thrift Savings Plan, which is a 401. And the federal government matches basically 5% of what you would put in there automatically, and it's a very good retirement system. Along with if you have health care through the Federal Health Care Exchange during the last 5 years specifically of your employment, when you go to retire, you can retain that and pay the same co-pays into retirement for the rest of your life.
Yeah, really amazing retirement benefits.
I mean, it's not just that either. I mean, most of these people, and what people have to consider is, they're going to start out maybe as what's called a GS, which is a general schedule employee. They're going to start out as maybe a GS7 or 9, but within 3 to 4 years, they're going to be making well more than $100,000 a year.
Wow.
And for some of these local police departments that are, especially in South Georgia, they're making $35,000, $40,000. It's a big incentive.
Yeah, and that's what I said too. Like, if someone offers me a $50,000 bonus up to, it's not guaranteed, but yeah, I'd be definitely intrigued by that. Can I ask you a question unrelated?
Sure.
Homeland Security, like government shutdown. What's your status personally?
There's 3 statuses of employees. There's exempt, which are people that are getting paid because the money's already allocated. Then there's accepted, which is basically the essential employees such as law enforcement and non-essential employees. I'm considered an essential employee for what I do, so I'm still having to work without pay. And does it stink? Yes, absolutely, it does stink. But there's nothing we can do, and this is up to politicians. I'm not going to get political with you.
Sure.
It's up to politicians to do their job. If I'm being honest, I wish they were not getting paid or back pay when they decided to shut down the government
exactly.
and affect the lives of millions.
On a personal note, again, I appreciate not getting political, but on a personal note, like, are you okay if the government stays shut down for another month? Would you be all right?
I've survived. I've been working for the federal government for well over 20 years. I've survived numerous ones. In 2019, we had a 35-day shutdown.
Yeah.
Eventually, what's going to happen is enough TSA employees will probably do mass sick outs, I'm guessing, and that'll shut down the U.S. transportation system, especially at the big airports. And that's when Congress acts, that's when they always have to act, because that's when the private citizen starts getting affected. But I'll survive this one. They'll come to their senses hopefully soon enough, and we'll see where they go. But does it stink for me and my coworkers? It absolutely does.
No doubt. John, great insight. Keep your chin up. Thank you so much for your service, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You as well. John, working at Homeland Security, not getting paid right now. Yikes. Real quick on the bonuses. Now, I don't know how bonuses, again, this ICE bonus up to $50,000, the recruitment bonus, as we heard from previous callers, that's not guaranteed, right? That's the top bonus you can get. Just a heads up, and I could be wrong on this, but I get ratings bonuses here. Longoria gets ratings bonuses because he's management. Those are taxed at extraordinarily high rates. It's not your normal taxation rate on a bonus. So let's say hypothetically this is not the case. Just let me reiterate, this is fictional. Let's say I get $1 million bonus for finishing first place, which is not the case. That's taxed, Deborah, at like 50%. I would only get $500,000.
It's like lottery money.
Yes, exactly. So if you are thinking about taking that bonus from ICE, check with your accountant and see what it's going to be taxed at. So you might get that $50,000 bonus. Yeah, you qualify for everything. But you might only get like $25,000. I don't know why that is. I hate that. I know Longoria gets more bonuses than anyone. That's got to drive you up a wall. He's not even talking to me. He's totally not even talking to me. Rachel's up next on the Mark Arum Show. Hey, Rachel.
Hi.
Hello.
With regards to the Atlanta police being recruited, if ICE is truly going after the people they advertise, then why not just give the Atlanta police more support to get those people? I honestly don't think that's who ICE is going after. I think they're going after the people that have every right to be here. Maybe they came in 30 years ago without the right paperwork, but in the meantime, they've done more for this country than a lot of people that were born here.
That's a completely different conversation. And I know personally people that have been here. If I know people that have been here law-abiding for 25, 30 years that add much more to the system than they get back, and that's a whole nother conversation. But do we want? All right, again, I'm in the city of Decatur, DeKalb County. Do I want my DeKalb County police officers, my city of Decatur police officers, having to add to their already really long laundry list of things they have to do and be like, oh, yeah, by the way, and go out and try to find illegals? Like, I'd rather them protect my car from being broken into, or my house from broken into, or a stick up at a gas station.
So I can tell you from my point of view, like when I see local police officers, sheriffs, county, I always, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Thank you. When I see like federal people, particularly I've had some sightings of ICE.
Yeah.
I'm nervous and I leave.
Yeah.
I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah. I just don't want to add to the already really tough list of things that local law enforcement have. Now, if you have a traffic stop, you pull over a Dodge Durango with a Swim Dad sticker, and it turns out
over. I don't drive that.
Yeah,
anymore.
and it turns out the driver's illegal. Okay, all right, but don't go out of your way like that. Let that be ICE, or let that be the federal whatever. I don't want I want police officers to be helping protect and serve, and they've got a lot of stuff to do already. I don't want them out having to search for illegal aliens. If it happens, if they come across one, okay. It's an interesting story, I think, for sure. And I'm curious to see what the recruitment levels will be here in the metro Atlanta area. All right, we're going to come back, update our top local stories right now. However, we got to check the ride around town. Live to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. Smile, Mark McKay.
Thanks, Mark. May have a new crash in the work zone. We're going to scan the jam cam at a very familiar spot if you work your way between Lithonia, Stonecrest, and I-285. This is a new crash that looks to be on 20 westbound right at Panola Road, exit 71, seeing the delays back at Evans Mill. In that same work zone, crash just went over to the shoulder on 285 northbound at I-20, lingering delays on the outer loop, leaving Bolton Road. A bit of a jam now developing into downtown Atlanta, 75-85 northbound, leaving University Avenue up to the I-20 interchange, and construction slowing things on the west side perimeter, that rolling road work on 285 southbound as you leave South Cobb Drive, exit 15, headed toward I-20. Smiler, Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
All the notifications you need.
The story developing in Marietta.
All the local and breaking news alerts you need.
We're following breaking news in Atlanta.
All in one place.
The 95.5 WSB app.
Download it today.
If your floors feel bouncy and uneven, it's time for AquaGuard Foundation Solutions Crawl Space Experts. Simply go to aquaguard.net and set up an appointment. It's fast and it's easy, and your floors will appreciate you. AquaGuard, the trusted local experts. Remember, AquaGuard.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now. 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Two houses, same neighborhood, nearly identical. But one had an orchard sign and it sold for way more. So what happened? Well, the first homeowner used a traditional agent. And after weeks of sitting on the market, price drops, and mounting frustration, they settled for less than they'd hoped for. The second homeowner chose Orchard. Their local orchard agent didn't just list the home, they knew how to market it properly. They knew which upgrades would attract serious buyers, brought in pros to handle the prep, and positioned the home to sell for top dollar. And thanks to Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, that homeowner moved into their new place before the old one even hit the market. No showings, no disruptions, no living in limbo. That's the difference. Never settle for less. Get more with Orchard. Start with a free home valuation at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
With the cooler weather coming, you've got blankets on the couch, fuzzy slippers, and the cozy sweaters at the ready. It's Ashley Frasca for Ragsdale, and as temperatures start to drop, my friends at Ragsdale Heating and Air want to make sure your home is ready for colder weather. Plan now for a fall furnace tune-up and safety inspection. Ragsdale will take care of it for $79 and make sure you're ready to host all of your friends for the big games. And Ragsdale is offering monthly payments as low as $119 a month for a brand new home comfort system through October. Ragsdale is the name I know you can trust. I've trusted their skilled technicians in my home for years, and many of the technicians have been with Ragsdale for decades. That's one of the reasons why Ragsdale has over 10,000 five-star reviews and a 4.9 rating. I trust Ragsdale's 15-year parts and labor warranty on new systems. It isn't some third-party warranty. It's Ragsdale's own warranty. It's completely bonded with the state of Georgia. Schedule your next visit online at ragsdaleair.com or give them a call. Ragsdale and Carrier, turn to the experts.
When you need quality professional tree work, choose Heath Tree Service. Hi, I'm Jimmy Heath. My father started Heath Tree Service over 60 years ago, and we're still family owned. Certified arborists and experts with trees. Find us at heathtreeservice.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Hey, I am Brant, and her name is Sherry, and she's a friend and a colleague of mine, and we were just praying for her, actually, because she had a major surgery she just went through.
Yes, and I am very happy about something you actually talk about all the time, which is Medishare. That's right,
of course.
Yeah.
So what was your experience like with Medishare and your healthcare bills?
You know what? It was seamless. And that's such a blessing when you're already nervous about a health issue, which I was.
Yeah.
Members shared my expenses. There were zero problems. And let me tell you, having people pray with you when you call in and it's just what you need, it's so refreshing.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling people. People love Medishare and saving tons of money. The typical family, I'm fond of saying, could save $500 a month.
I am so thankful for Medishare. It's so different, and I mean different in a very, very good way, Brant.
It is a good different. Call right now. They're so easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number, 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE. Can you translate that for us, Deborah?
That's Latin. I'm not going to have you do it. 47 years ago today. This is crazy. For the first time in 456 years, a non-Italian was elected pope. Did you know that? You probably knew that.
I did know
Papal
that,
historian.
yes.
They went 456 years in between non-Italian popes. That's crazy.
I mean, they just went local. That's
Yeah,
all, yeah.
I guess so. Now, of course, we have an American pope, but that announcement was made in Latin. I'm assuming you heard that announcement on WSB Radio on October 16th, 1978. Picking up some breaking news from Capitol Hill. We knew this was coming. The Justice Department expected to seek a grand jury indictment against former National Security Advisor John Bolton this afternoon in Greenbelt, Maryland. Sot McFarland from CBS has the details.
John Bolton's home and his office in Washington, D.C. were searched in August by federal agents under a court-approved search warrant. And we know from our reporting in the Times since that among the things agents secured during those searches were electronic devices, and that it's an investigation into the potential mishandling and misappropriation or unlawful possession of classified records.
Yeah, you might remember that FBI raid. We had it live here on the show. So this is no surprise there. John Bolton expected to be indicted this afternoon in Greenbelt, Maryland. Day 16 of the government shutdown. We heard from John, who called in and works for Homeland Security. He is not getting paid. There are some members of the federal government that are going to get paid, Deborah.
Yeah, the FBI is going to continue to get paid during this shutdown, and the FBI Director Kash Patel didn't really say where the funds were coming from, but that the agents will get paid, and he did specifically thank the president. Now, no FBI agents will be furloughed, and only about 10 of them are going to be sent home, so that because there's less to do, I guess, but none of them will lose a paycheck.
So if you work for the FBI and you listen to the Mark Arum Show, A, thanks for listening. B, get me a job. Either FBI or CIA preferably, but you are going to get paid. Quick update on what's going on with Israel and Hamas. Recently released hostage attended a funeral for his former tank commander, whose body was returned by Hamas as part of the ceasefire deal. Our buddy Linda Gradstein has more from Jerusalem.
Surrounded by hundreds of mourners, former hostage Matan Angrist, freed just 2 days earlier, said that attending the funeral is the least he could do for his former commander, 22-year-old Daniel Peretz. He also said he is ready to go back to Gaza to bring back the body of another former member of the tank crew, Ruby Chen, who is a dual U.S.-Israeli citizen. Hamas says it cannot find any more of the 19 bodies of Israelis it had been holding, a claim Israel denies.
Yeah, I don't know whether to believe Hamas or not. I mean, I tend to not believe Hamas, but I don't doubt that they can't find all of the remains of the deceased hostages. They have used, quote, significant efforts and special equipment. No, they need significant efforts and special equipment to recover the remaining dead captives in Gaza. Israel believes that Hamas has access to at least 6 other bodies, but haven't sent them back. Any developments on the Israel-Hamas peace situation? You'll get them throughout the day here on WSB. Coming up next, a story that is important to every single one of you. If you ever want to retire, something you're probably not factoring in for your retirement. We're going to be joined by Amy Peakey from Money Watch. Very important story coming up next on The Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
More and more these days, people are in pain, are taking control of their health and looking beyond the traditional medicine. Hey, it's Mark Arum. That's why QC Kinetics is so successful. People with chronic joint pain are learning that there are other options besides steroids, meds, and surgery. Patients fighting pain are getting lasting relief using advanced cellular treatments. It's QC Kinetics regenerative medicine that can revitalize your joints using growth factors from your own body. And check it out, guys. It's a simple injection. No hospital stay. It's fast, all natural, and no downtime. I want you to call QC Kinetics and get a free consultation. Exercise your freedom to look beyond the same old solutions. Thousands of patients around the country finding a better life with QC Kinetics and their amazing regenerative treatments. Call now to get started. 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026. Appointments available on Saturdays. Lawrenceville, Sandy Springs, Marietta, Stockbridge, Decatur, and Douglasville.
You've thought about assisted living for your parents, but maybe the right answer is renovating your home and having mom or dad move in. I'm Richard, Chief Architect at Sketch House, where we create custom architectural drawings for homeowners looking to remodel. Why get drawings first? You'll know what's possible. You'll be able to get pricing and compare builders apples to apples, and builders love drawings. You'll get bumped to the top of their list with drawings in hand. Let Sketch House help you make a decision about your aging parents at a fixed price. Visit sketchhouse.com. That's sketch, HAUS.com.
Squirrels in your attic are not leaving without a fight. Scott Slade here. You need the Breda Wildlife Guarantee. It covers every entry point, old and new. Other companies only guarantee the entry point they seal. So each time that squirrel chews a new hole, and they will, it'll cost you hundreds more. But under the Breda Wildlife Guarantee, you stay protected at no additional cost.
Breda, Breda,
No need to be afraid of bugs.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. Happening this hour, the father of a 6-month-old baby boy found dead in Clayton County is expected to be back in court today, this hour, for a first appearance on new charges in this case.
Court records show Antonio Pierce is now charged with malice murder, concealing a death, tampering with evidence, aggravated assault, aggravated battery, first-degree cruelty to children, and false report of a crime, all tied to the death of his son, Nakai Pratt. The new charges come just hours after a judge denied Pierce bond in an unrelated matter. The infant's body was recovered near the apartment complex where he was reported missing. The Clayton County Medical Examiner's Office has not released the baby's cause of death. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
And in case you're just joining us, Nakai's mother, Nicolette Pratt, is also now facing charges in this case, including obstruction and making false statements. She's in the Clayton County Jail awaiting a bond hearing. The twin sibling of the baby has been removed from the home and is now in protective care. Your weather for today, sunny skies, staying warm, afternoon highs around 81. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards will have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. The Justice Department expected to seek a grand jury indictment against former National Security Advisor John Bolton this afternoon in Maryland.
Our reporting is that there are career prosecutors who'd likely be giving the presentation today. This case already has had, if it's filed as a criminal case, a search warrant approved by a judge that was executed in August that led to federal raids in D.C. and in Maryland.
And Scott McFarland says the possible indictment comes 2 months after FBI agents found documents labeled as confidential in Bolton's Washington office that referenced weapons of mass destruction. The ceasefire in Gaza is holding, although it's on shaky ground. Israel is accusing Hamas of not holding up its end of the ceasefire deal because they say not all of the remains of the hostages who died have been returned. Hamas says that it's located all of the remains that it could, and outside groups have offered to help. We get more now from Ian Pannell in Jerusalem.
There are a number of issues that have emerged. One is disarming Hamas. The militants have been reasserting their control in the parts of Gaza that the IDF has withdrawn from against other armed groups, some of them organized based around clans, family clans, others criminal elements. But their methods have sometimes been violent. Horrific images emerging in a video verified by ABC News appearing to show Hamas-linked gunmen carrying out a public execution.
And now to Washington. House Speaker Mike Johnson says ending the ongoing government shutdown is in the hands of Democratic lawmakers.
And so today marks yet another day of American families feeling the very real personal and economic strain of this reckless decision that our Democrat colleagues keep making. They want the United States government to remain closed, and they seem not to care about the pain that it's causing.
Now, his comments come as the Senate is set to vote again on a spending measure. It'll be the 10th time lawmakers have attempted to pass the legislation that's Republican-backed and has already made it through the House. Later, the Senate will hold a procedural vote on a measure that's meant to fund the Defense Department. It is 11:03. That means it's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. We say good morning to Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. A slow morning in DeKalb County out of Lithonia. Got this crash in the left lane, I-20 westbound, Panola Road, exit 71. Delays back toward Evans Mill Road. And up in Duluth, we just found an interesting situation here. Truck hauling big portable lights, 85 southbound at Pleasant Hill Road, exit 104. One of those has fallen off the truck, and they're trying to load it onto a tow truck right now. Got a couple of left lanes blocked. Hopefully this won't last too long, but until then, you're still seeing the delays there back towards Sugarloaf Parkway. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upward. Sunny skies today, high 81, lows tonight in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high near 80. Saturday, a mix of sun and clouds, high 82.
It is 71 degrees in Woodstock, 69 in Johns Creek, Ackworth. You have 71 degrees. More news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
11:04 on, yeah, you guessed it, an extremely busy Newsday Thursday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Aram and crew with you till noon. Coming up in 30 minutes, Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Heart at Gas South Arena. Big guest list tomorrow, Deborah. Ambassador Andrew Young is going to join us live. Actor Ernie Hudson's going to join us live. And Sabrina, I might need your help prepping for this interview. You ready?
Yeah.
Dr. Oz is going to join us on the show tomorrow as our health reporter. you and I, maybe we can spitball some questions I can ask Dr. Oz?
Absolutely.
All right, there
Absolutely.
you go. All right, I'm going to weigh into your expertise. I can handle Ernie Hudson. I can talk to Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters. But Dr. Oz, he's going to want to talk about medical stuff. So
Yeah, you could always ask him about Oprah because that's where you got to start, right?
I could ask him about Oprah for sure. All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
Thanks, Sabrina.
You're welcome.
All right, there you go. So Sabrina and I are going to interview Dr. Oz tomorrow on the show. Very excited, though, that Ambassador Andrew Young is going to join us live tomorrow. All right, back to today's show. Day 16 of the government shutdown. We'll go back to D.C. for the latest there. Big local story. DeKalb County Superintendent, his resignation was accepted by the school board. He, of course, was indicted in Illinois of charges. There's going to be an investigation, I'm sure, here in DeKalb County. There's a temporary or interim is the preferred nomenclature, interim superintendent right now for DeKalb County Schools, but a big local story. We'll touch on that. But I want to cover a story that it impacts all of us. Joining us on the show from Money Watch, it's Amy Peakey. Amy, for a long time here on the Mark Arum Show, we've been talking about retirement plans for folks and maybe, thinking that they'll be okay with just Social Security and really not having the finances that they might need for retirement. But I never figured into the equation the fact that our longevity numbers keep going up. And people are going to live a lot longer than they expect to, which could really put a hamper on their retirement funds. What did you learn?
Yeah, this is an interesting study. It's from the MIT Age Lab and John Hancock. And it's the first time they've done this study. And they looked at how prepared are Americans for longevity, meaning we're living longer lives. The average age of retirement is about 62. And there's a good chance if you reach that age of 62, you're going to live into your 90s. So that means, 30 years of retirement. But it's not only, as you mentioned, it's not only about money. There are a lot of other aspects of longevity that they took a look at. There are 8 aspects, actually, and they range from things like social connection, maintaining your relationships with your family, friends, your community as you age, to care. And this isn't just paying for long-term care, like if you need extra assistance and have to go into a home, but it's about just who's going to be there for you when you need help. Like when you're in your 90s and you don't want to get on a step stool to change your light bulb, who's going to do that for you? And so, some of these steps aren't about having enough money for retirement. It's about planning. It's just about looking ahead. Hey, it's a good chance I'm going to be living into my 90s. What's that going to look like? How am I going to prepare for that?
So for the Gen Xers like me that are listening to the show right now, this is something they should think about now in their 40s and 50s so they are not caught off guard if, they live to be 90, 95 years old.
Absolutely. It's definitely something that Gen X should look at. They're conversations that younger generations should be having with their parents or grandparents as well. And these are sometimes tough conversations to have, like asking and talking to your parents or grandparents, what's your plan? Like if you need help, who's going to be there for you? It's interesting because one issue that the researchers brought up is that there are more Americans now who don't have children, who are estranged from family members, and that makes it tougher in some ways to ask, like, who's going to be there for you? So sometimes it's going to be, friends, people in your community, but it definitely is something that you do need to start talking about and have a plan for.
Amy Peakey from Money Watch joining us here on the Mark Arum Show, talking about retirement and what it looks like as Americans continue to live longer. And I think mental health is an aspect that is often underreported when it comes to this.
Absolutely. One aspect of this longevity preparedness is health, and this is physical, mental, and cognitive behavioral habits, making sure that you are maintaining those good habits as you age. And the researchers did note this is something to start early. Like this is before you get into retirement. Make sure you have those habits and you're taking care of those aspects of your life. Of course, there are things beyond our control, of course. I mean, you can't control everything, but, what steps you can take, start thinking about them. Start thinking about, building strength and balance as you age. So these are steps that I think it's really interesting because we often really focus on that dollar amount that you need when you retire. And this report is saying, yeah, finances are part of it, but it's not just money. It's about how do you think about getting older? How do you plan for that? What steps can you take now, even before you hit retirement, to get ready for those 20, 30 years of retirement?
And these issues, right, plural, about to explode. America's population of seniors expected to surge by 40% over the next 25 years. That's a big number.
It's really huge, and it's the baby boom population is Gen X, as you mentioned, and that just means there are going to be a lot more older Americans. We're going to have a lot more people in our families and friends who need help, and I think it's something that's really interesting is that Americans generally underestimate how long they're going to live. I've covered other research from a Stanford specialist on longevity, and that's one thing she found in her research. Is that Americans believe they're gonna it's a little dark here, but they think they're gonna die before they really do, because they look at life expectancy tables, like the average life expectancy of a man is I'm just off the top of my head is maybe 80, and they think, all right, that's how long I'm going to have in retirement. But the fact is that's based on the mortality rates for everybody from babies up till senior citizens. So what you have to look at is at age 65, if I'm alive at age 65, what's my life expectancy? And the fact is that women who make it to 65 have a 40% chance of living to 90, and for men, it's 30%. So you have a good chance of living to your 90s. And people don't prepare for that because they think, well, the average life expectancy is much earlier than that. But the fact is, you probably are going to live longer than those tables show you, so you need to be prepared for that. And yes, America in general is going to have a lot more older people and very old people as we go on through the decades.
I feel you're talking directly at me, Amy, because I doubt I'm going to reach that 90 mark, but I'm confident my wife is going to reach the 90 or 100 mark. All right, so I did do some recalculation on what retirement.
Yeah, you have a good chance.
Really interesting stuff. Amy Peakey, Money Watch. Amy, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
And really, a lot of things to talk about here when it comes to that. But I never figured that, Deborah, because I don't think I'm going to live to be 90. I really, you see how I live. It'd be a miracle of modern science if I lived to be 90. Maya, on the other hand, her grandparents are still alive, 99 and 96. Like, she's got that good, and she works out and she's healthy. Like, so I'm making sure that Maya is going to be taken care of after I leave this mortal coil. But, so I've understood, but I personally am like, I've never factored in if I live to 90. If I live to 90, Maya's screwed. Like, she's gonna have nothing. What I worry about, and I should do more research on this, is, and I think, all of us, not you, Vinny, your dad's younger than me, but Deborah, Longoria, and myself, like, our parents are getting to that age where my parents are okay for retirement, my pensions and everything like that. But if they have to go to a facility, or if they have to have someone come to the house and take care of them there, what that cost is. I remember when my grandmother had to go to a facility, and it drained every single cent she had. Like, whatever she had saved up after my grandfather died, and my grandmother lived to be in her 90s, and when she went into that senior care facility, that's expensive. Like, who pays for that? If you don't have the money, is that a Medicare thing?
I believe some of it, and maybe depending on where you go to, because there's
Yeah.
a lot of different options. Some of it can be covered by Medicare, but I don't think all of it is.
That's what scares me the most, is God forbid, like, just say I have to be put into a facility like that, whether it's mental or physical. Like, do we have the funds to pay for that and keep Maya comfortable in retirement? Longoria, you're lucky, because part of the thing that retirees, as we live longer, as Americans live longer, to have someone to take care of them. You're a good dad. Your daughters love you. I'm sure they are going to.
Yeah, at least one of them will
Yeah.
at least one of them.
Older or younger was going to take care of you?
I think the older one.
The older one.
The older one,
care.
yeah.
All right.
I think she's the one.
Maya and I don't have that. So we don't, as we get older, we don't have that next generation to do it, to come over and change the light bulb or drive us to our doctor's appointments.
You've got a Waymo now.
Well, that's actually interesting. One of the benefits of, and I do have a Waymo story, but these rideshare apps right now, you don't think of senior citizens using them that often. But if you're old, let's say you're 85 years old, you don't drive anymore, how are you going to get to the doctors? How are you going to get to the pharmacy? Uber and Lyft will that's a great added benefit to seniors these days.
Yeah, so my church also, there's communities and churches
Sure.
and groups will offer rides to seniors. You just kind of have to look for those resources.
But that's something that we should plan on. Again, we're going to, everyone listening right now, you're probably going to live longer than you thought. And we haven't really thought about that when it comes to our retirement funds. All right, Waymo. So again, if you haven't seen my Instagram live video of my second ever Waymo experience, it's on my Instagram page at Mark Arum, MarkArum. It's right. It's the first post, the first reel, whatever they call them. But I am all for it. Now, Waymo might now get into the food delivery business. Stacey Lynn has the story.
They're testing it out in Phoenix first, with Waymo's driverless Jaguar SUVs only delivering orders from DashMart, which is DoorDash's own convenience, grocery, and retail store. But that's expected to expand over time. But because there is no driver, your order won't be brought to your door. Instead, you'll have to use the app to unlock the vehicle's trunk and go grab it yourself. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
It's so funny because when I was in the back of the Waymo the other day, I was like, oh, these are cool, but you can't deliver food with them. But they're doing it at like a convenience store, because I order Uber Eats almost daily, and the driver has to go into the Taco Bell or the Enzo's Pizza, whatever I order from, and they have to pick up the food and bring it in. I'm like, oh, well, Waymo can't do that. But I guess if this becomes something that's more and more common, then the restaurant or the store will bring the food out and put it in the Waymo, and the Waymo will be on its way. So I sat in the Waymo. Did you watch the video, Deborah?
Yeah, I watched it.
All right. So I sat in the back seat. Like every time I take an Uber, I sit behind the passenger seat in the back seat. More leg room, etc. So when I got into the Waymo, I sat in the back seat passenger, like normal. Allison Mastrangelo, the day after I took a Waymo, she took a Waymo too and posted a video. Channel 2 sports reporter Allison Mastrangelo. She sat in the front seat on the Waymo. Did I do it wrong? Did she do it? Is there?
I'm used to sitting in the back because I think of it as a cab, right? And
yeah.
in cabs, you always kind of sit in the back
Yeah.
seat, unless there's too many people and one of you is forced to sit up front. But usually they don't want that either. So I always sit in the back. Although
Yeah.
it probably made a better video of being in the front.
Well, I think, again, maybe I'll text her and ask her. I thought she sat in the front just so people wouldn't think it's a driverless car. They'd be like, oh, it's a car with the steering wheel on the on
she's
the other
driving
side.
a European car.
Yeah, exactly. I just thought it was odd that she sat in the front and I sat in the back. But there was no driver to talk, which was nice. Not
like Kit.
Yeah, exactly. Has anyone thought about doing that for?
Maybe you can volunteer and be the voice of a Waymo.
No, bring the Kit voice to GPS, because I know you can get different voices to do your GPS.
I'm sure someone's done that.
That would
by
be
now.
pretty cool. No, Vinny has no idea what we're talking about. No idea.
No, not at all.
You know what? I'm going to play the theme song to that show when we come back. Right now, though, we got to check the ride at 11:18 on the Mark Arum Show. Checking problems, delays. Let's say hello and good morning to Alex Williams.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Luckily, no Waymos on the interstates right now, but we do have a crash out in Lithonia, I-20 westbound, Panola Road, exit number 71. Left lane is blocked. You're seeing delays back to Evans Mill Road. Better news in Duluth. They got all that debris cleaned up. All lanes back open. 85 southbound at Pleasant Hill Road. Delays improving there. And some brake lights in the Midtown and downtown. 75, 85 southbound 17th Street as you pass Georgia Tech. Traffic brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Hey, Georgia, remember you can play Georgia Lottery games from almost anywhere on any device. Go to GALottery.com and click on DigiGames. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Eric Erickson.
Informative and topical when you want it.
And he's involved in keeping Chinese communist students at American University.
And a break when you need it.
I forgot to leave food out for the cat. Can you go check on the cat?
Eric Erickson.
By belittling other people, you show your tribal loyalty.
Today, starting at noon. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers. Our fall bridal event is back. Whether you're shopping for an engagement, wedding, or celebrating an anniversary or milestone, D. Geller & Son's fall bridal event is the only place you'll have this many choices and get this much value. Up to $3,000 off when you make an appointment, or 36 months 0% APR financing. So come join us October 24th through 26th in Kennesaw and Sandy Springs. Make an appointment at dgeller.com.
Affordable jewelry for everyone is at D. Geller & Son.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed.
Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. Mm-hmm. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
House Republicans are working every day to secure the southern border, end government waste, and bring down the rising cost of living that is hurting every one of us. Y'all, I'm Congressman Mike Collins, and I won't let off the gas until we fix our country and put American interest first. And follow along at collins.house.gov, because we have a lot of work to get done, and I want you involved.
Paid for with official funds from the Office of Representative Mike Collins.
Okay, things you can do on your deck. You can grill on your deck. You can have a hot tub on your deck. You can spend time with friends on your deck. You can... Oh, wait, what? You don't have a deck, or you'd like a nicer deck? I get it. You want just the right deck for you. You know, you need Ben Hill Renovations. Dave Baker here. Ben Hill Renovations have over 60 years experience building just the right deck, offering superior craftsmanship and a high quality of work, while delivering your perfect deck built within your budget. They offer many options, different styles, different decking materials, different colors and finishes. Not sure what you like? Visit their showroom in Douglasville and see all your choices with your own eyes. And every Ben Hill deck is built up to code and backed by the Ben Hill Renovations Workmanship Warranty. You live life on your deck. Visit bhrenovations.com today and schedule a free design consultation at your home. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
Whether it's a slip that ends in a slip disc, a trick knee that's holding you back, or shoulder pain hurting your game, you can count on Northside Hospital Orthopedics. With leading care in Georgia at convenient locations all across the state, we're here to get you back on your feet, no matter what comes your way. Because Georgia moves us, and we keep Georgia moving. Find a provider near you at northside.com/ortho. That's northside.com/ORTHO.
Fall is a busy time, and selling your home can be overwhelming. Get a guaranteed cash offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and sell your home stress-free and for the most money. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our guaranteed offer is the easiest way to sell your home. With the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can bypass the market, receive the strongest all-cash offer in the industry, and close in as little as 21 days. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
As promised, show intro to the 80s hit TV show Knight Rider, which aired 87 episodes between 1982 and 1986. Welcome back to the Mark Air Show. Down South, Vinny, have you ever heard of Knight Rider? Have you heard this song before?
Knight Rider? That's not the skeleton dude, is it?
That is not. That's, what is that, Deborah?
I think you're thinking of Ghost Rider?
Ghost Rider, yeah.
No.
That's a comic book.
Oh, okay. No, this is Knight Rider. In case you're not familiar, Vin, the basic premise of Knight Rider is Michael Long is an undercover cop who's seriously wounded during his assignment. Nursed back to health by a mysterious benefactor, the chairman and CEO of Knight Industries, he regains consciousness as a new man and a new face and a new name, Michael Knight. His mysterious benefactor provides Michael with equipment and support so he can continue his crime fighting among those who operate above the law. The most notable piece of equipment supplied is KITT, K-I-T-T, an indestructible, high-performance car fitted with artificial intelligence.
Busta Rhymes did a remake of this song.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we'll hear that next time. Better show, 80s show. Knight Rider A-Team.
Ooh, I loved the A-Team
Me
as
too.
a kid, yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. I'd have to go A-Team.
Knight Rider, the better theme, though.
Yeah,
Yes,
for sure. But the
yes.
18 theme was good. But the Knight Rider,
Yeah.
I haven't seen an episode of Knight Rider in 40 years,
Me
so
neither.
I don't know if it holds up. But
It was mostly just the talking car.
yeah.
It was exciting.
Yeah, AI. I mean, it was ahead of its time. All right. Speaking of now, 6-7. Vinny tried to explain what the heck 6-7 was. Apparently, there is now a no 6-7 policy. Is it a sort of school, Deborah?
It's teachers in general. It's not a specific school district or even a state, but teachers in general, they're so annoyed with kids yelling out 6-7 in class because they know it doesn't really mean anything, right? Or it means different things to different people. So some teachers are banning the phrase. Some are trying to avoid doing any kind of counting exercises like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-7.
1, 2,
And
3,
yeah,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah. So, and others are just, sometimes people will, how you raise your hands, the teacher
Yeah.
calls on you, and kids will yell out 6-7 like
All right,
that
I have
too.
a theory on this. We're told that 6-7 means nothing. I think that's a lie. I think those in the know, and they're gatekeeping from us oldies what 6-7 has. Actually, there is a meaning to it that just they won't. We need someone to crack. Vinny, crack and tell us exactly what
I've
6-7.
asked my girls. They said it's nothing.
Yeah, but
They're not gonna
they're not
tell
going to
you.
tell
Yeah,
Dad.
You're the oldie.
Yeah, you're the oldie. They're gatekeeping it. 6-7 has a meaning.
I'm just saying it loud at stores
right.
now.
Just a heads up, Sabrina, if you give out temperatures and it's 67 degrees in Ackworth, we're going to go 6-7. 6-7. No, I'm
6-7.
kidding. Sabrina's like, what are you talking about? All right, in depth on the big local story, DeKalb County Superintendent out. What comes next? We'll discuss next on The Mark Arum Show.
You worked hard for your 401k, but if you've left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years has hidden fees and limited investment choices. But if you're no longer with the company, that 401k may be at the mercy of your former employer. All of these things could be costing you thousands. Rolling over your 401k into an IRA can provide better investment options that align with your long-term goals. At Trajan Wealth, we're fiduciary advisors that are held to a higher standard with no hidden agenda and no hidden fees. Don't let your retirement dollars sit in an old plan, and don't roll it over to your new plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Advisory services are offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how retailers become constantly connecting must-visit shops. How restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with our reliable business internet. Plus, stay connected when you add Wi-Fi backup for just $35 a month. And ask about a $400 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Wireless Connect requires business internet for additional monthly charge. Taxes and other fees extra. Prepaid card offer ends 11/16/25.
Selling and buying a home doesn't have to be a juggling act. With Orchard, you get cash up front to buy your next place, then more cash when your old home sells. Start with a free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Coming up from the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, Delta Classical Concerts featuring a symphonic favorite, The Planets by Holst, along with a concerto for Hindustani violin. Arrive early for the Visions of India Festival, celebrating Indian music and culture. The free festival starts at 6 p.m. before each concert on October 23rd and 25th at Symphony Hall. Details at aso.org.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by Main Street Auto. We have just now learned from WSB's Veronica Waters that court appearance for the Clayton County father of a 6-month-old baby found dead has been rescheduled now for tomorrow. Antonio Pierce is now charged with murder in the death of his son, Nakai Pratt. The child's mother, Nicolette Pratt, has also been arrested and will appear in court tomorrow. Police say they're trying to figure out her involvement in the case. She was charged so far with obstruction and making false statements. Your weather for today: sunny skies and staying warm with a high around 81, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes. Hamas says that it has returned to Israel the bodies of all the hostages that it can. Blake Sifton reporting from Tel Aviv this morning that Israel is not accepting that explanation.
Defense Minister Israel Katz has threatened to resume fighting if Hamas does not honor the ceasefire deal, saying he ordered the military to prepare a plan to crush the group if the war restarts.
Now, Hamas contends that it has, quote, abided by what was agreed upon and has handed over all the living captives in its possession and the corpses that it could access. The ceasefire agreement calls on Hamas to turn over the remains of 28 deceased hostages within 72 hours. Only 9 bodies have been returned so far. Hamas says that it would take, quote, significant efforts and special equipment to recover the remaining bodies from the destruction in Gaza. In Gwinnett County, they've just installed on-site prescription medication collection boxes at police headquarters and in every precinct in the county. Residents can drop off expired or unwanted pills, tablets, capsules, even liquid medications. You can do that Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. It's an effort to help reduce the risk of prescription medication misuse, opioid addiction, and prevent medications from entering our water supply. So you can drop them off Monday through Friday there in Gwinnett County at police headquarters or any precinct in the county. Now to Forsyth County. The Forsyth County-based Fur Kids Animal Rescue saying that one of the kittens that was injured in this week's fiery accident on I-85 in Jackson County has now been released from the hospital. In an update today, Fur Kids says that Morticia is now back with her foster. Morticia was among nearly 40 cats, you might remember, in a Fur Kids van that was involved in that accident, which left an entire family of 8 dead in a different vehicle. 2 cats are still missing today after running from that scene. The driver of the semi-truck charged in the accident. And while we're speaking of animals, did you hear about this? A former research lab chimpanzee has died at an animal sanctuary up in North Georgia. Project Chimps, which is a nonprofit sanctuary for chimpanzees, which were formerly used in research labs. They tell us that 36-year-old Jamie passed away from kidney disease. That chimp had been at the sanctuary since 2018. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow is down 5 at 46,247. NASDAQ is in positive territory, and the S&P is also in the green, but only slightly. It's time for Live Team coverage of traffic and weather. It's brought to you by Findlay Roofing. Alex Williams, how are we doing on the roads?
We're doing better out in Lithonia, Sabrina. That crash just cleared to the right shoulder. Everything back open. I-20 westbound, Panola Road, exit 71. And we also got some better news in Midtown. Had some police activity. 75-85 southbound at North Avenue, exit 249 right there next to Georgia Tech. That just cleared out of the right lane. Still some brake lights back to the I-85 Georgia 400 merge, but those should start to improve as you head into the heart of the city. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upward. Sunny skies today, high 81, lows tonight in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, highs in the upper 70s to low 80s. A mix of sun and clouds on Saturday, high 82.
72 degrees in Duluth. It's 73 in Forest Park. Here in Atlanta, we have 74 degrees. We'll have more news at noon, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
It's not as bad as it could be.
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
Hey, the ladies are at home. Let's smoke cigars.
Eric Von Hessler.
Some sort of cultural affirmation. Yes, I am this kind of man.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Second item, the second action item is to engage a forensic auditor.
Big news from the DeKalb County School Board. We'll go in depth, plus Deborah's got tickets to give away. All that straight ahead on the Mark Arum Show.
Woof, woof.
By executive order from Rufus, the Findlay Roofing Chief Barking Officer, they're rolling over. Rolling out a $1,000 discount on your Findlay roof replacement. Hey, it's Dave Baker for the only roofer I answer the door for, Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Stop repairing the leaks and dragging your feet. Now is the best time to replace that old, leaky, haunted roof and save 1,000 bones. Findlay has replaced over 65,000 roofs locally. That's no trick. It's just high-quality work, upfront pricing, and exceptional service. Findlay goes the distance. They're the extra effort experts, making sure you have a remarkable roof replacement experience. Findlay also has 0% financing available, and for a limited time, you can save $1,000 on your roof replacement. Hurry, you need to shake on this deal by Halloween. Schedule your free roof analysis at FindlayRoofing.com.
'Tis the season. Have you gotten your flu shot? At All Care, our experienced flu specialists are dedicated to providing comprehensive and personalized care, from vaccines to testing to treatment. And you can walk right in to any of All Care's 15 Atlanta locations and access our unique combination of primary and immediate care under a single roof. For flu season and beyond, say goodbye to waiting for the doctor and say hello to All Care, a proud member of the Piedmont Clinically Integrated Network.
Summer might officially be ending, but the savings on a new AC unit just beginning. Hey, friends, it's Mark Aaron back from my pals at Reliable. Check this amazing end-of-season savings deal. Any size AC, just $69.99 a month, 0 down, low monthly payments, unbeatable lifetime warranty, and 24/7 customer service. 24/7. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com. Click on the Book Now button or call or text 770-594-9969.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
He packed in the animals 2x2, ox, a camel, and a kangaroo.
11:37 on the Mark Aram Show. Tomorrow on the broadcast, joining us live, Ambassador Andrew Young, Dr. Oz, and actor Ernie Hudson. Going to go in depth in a big local story in just a second. But first, Deborah, you have some more tickets to give away, my friend.
Tickets to go check out Heart at Gas South Arena on February 15th.
That's the new Butler Bell. It came yesterday via Amazon. Holding it up to the camera on the live stream here. It's bigger and louder than I wanted. I wanted one of those little dainty, but this is like...
Is that golden?
It's brass. Yeah. And Soba, I tried to train Soba, like Pavlov's dog, to ring the bell. Yeah. And I was like, you hungry? And I rang the bell, and she ran. She was freaked out by the bell. So I might have to get another bell on Amazon. I want a little dainty, like, T-bell.
See if they got a smaller one.
Ding, 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 ding. Anyway, let's give tickets away. What did you say, Deborah?
Tickets to go see Heart at Gas South Arena on February 15th.
All right, I'll use the old bell on that. All right, 16th day of the government shutdown. So the 16th caller to Vinny Drip to 404-872-0750. 16th caller to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see Heart Gas South Arena, courtesy of the Mark Aram Show at 95.5 WSB. Big local story developing last night.
To accept the resignation of Dr. Devon Q. Horton, effective November 15th, 2025.
Yes, Devon Horton, the superintendent of schools in DeKalb County, his resignation was accepted by the Board of Education. What happens next? Covering the story for WSB Radio, it's our buddy Jonathan O'Brien. J.O.B., good morning, my friend.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
This is such an interesting and really impactful story. DeKalb County, one of the biggest school districts in the state of Georgia. Let's start at the beginning of this story, I guess, which would be the superintendent, Devon Horton. Horton,
yes.
Was indicted for allegations when he was the school superintendent of a school district in Illinois. Let's start with there. What was he accused of in Illinois?
Right. Well, he is accused in what they're calling a kickback scheme, an improper use of funds and things like that. Basically, he was favoring friends when it came to school contracts and use of school money. And those allegations are now leading the DeKalb County School Board to actually do an audit of all of their finances because they're concerned by these allegations.
So apparently, allegedly, what happened in Illinois, Horton allegedly failed to disclose personal or financial ties to companies awarded professional services contracts by the district. That was from the federal indictment. Horton and 3 co-defendants accused of forming 3 companies that would eventually gain contracts with the school district, which is jaw-dropping, and then receiving kickbacks on those contracts. So that story broke. He was in DeKalb County as the superintendent, hired back in
23, I believe.
Okay, 2023. So those allegations came to light. What happened next? What did the DeKalb School Board do? What did DeKalb County Schools do?
Right. Well, he was immediately put on administrative leave following this announcement of his indictment. And it looked like they were going to kind of let the process play out. In the state of Georgia, if a public official is indicted or facing an indictment, things like that, the governor appoints a 3-person commission to look into those allegations and find out whether or not the person should be removed from office. So it appeared for a moment that that was how the process was going to play out, that it was something might be handled by the governor's office. But of course, the DeKalb School Board yesterday making that decision to accept the resignation of Dr. Devon Horton as this process plays out.
Dr. Horton making almost $400,000 a year as DeKalb County School Superintendent. Now, we heard the audio there of the school board accepting his resignation. Did he really resign, or was that firing?
Right. Well, Mark, I think he was probably asked to leave. I don't know. The DeKalb School Board yesterday took no questions after accepting that resignation. It was a very short meeting following a 7 or 9 hour executive session. They were behind closed doors pretty much all day discussing this. But I spoke with several folks in the community, some community advocates, and we had that on Atlanta's Morning News today. And the thing that they kept coming back to was his salary, which you just mentioned. They feel the board dropped the ball, and many believe that they shouldn't have accepted his resignation. They should have fired him.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder if that matters as far as I would imagine if he resigns, he's not getting paid during this investigation. If he had been fired, maybe, I don't know how that works logistically behind the scenes. But I would imagine after the allegations that came up in Illinois, there's going to be some sort of investigation or audit of his time as DeKalb County Superintendent to see if anything similar happened here.
Right, that's exactly right. And that's what the school board is ordering. Now, I did speak with one member of the community, and just from their perspective, they said they did not feel that this audit that the school board is pursuing and proposing from their perspective is enough. They want a true outside person to really dig into the finances of the school district, do a top and, from the top to the bottom review of every level of the DeKalb County School District.
And has there been any criticism thrown at the DeKalb County School Board during all of this?
Yes, a lot. And I heard that many times yesterday. A lot of calls for the entire board to resign. They feel that the board dropped the ball. They should have seen this coming. And Mark, back in 2023, when Dr. Horton was appointed to the position, I spoke with several folks in the community, including the local NAACP chair and some of the advocates you heard on Atlanta's Morning News today. And they were concerned that the process for selecting Dr. Horton was not transparent. So from their perspective now, this has been a problem. Even the problem with Dr. Horton started before he even arrived in DeKalb County.
Jonathan, I should know the answer to this, but I don't. Was it the school board that ultimately hired Dr. Horton?
Yes.
So his coming from Illinois to Atlanta was firmly on the shoulders of the DeKalb County School Board. They were the ultimate hiring entity.
Right, and he was the sole finalist for that job. And DeKalb, over the years, Mark, I know you've been in, following the news here in Atlanta for decades. They've had a lot of problems since 2002 with their school district heads.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Jonathan. So Horton was the third superintendent to lead DeKalb County Schools since 2020. Three since 2020, and the eighth to hold the position since 2010. So the turnover there at DeKalb County Schools is enormous. And I guess I want to know, Jonathan, what happens next, right? We're going to be watching the federal indictments in Illinois. But, locally, I want to know, there's got to be, and this is maybe something the governor has in his purview, to get in there and audit and see, all right, what has Dr. Horton done in his tenure as DeKalb school superintendent? Did he do those things that he's accused of in Illinois here in Georgia?
Right, exactly. And there's actually a special legislative committee that's been formed. The members tell me that they are going to approach this with an open mind, but that they want to know more about what happened. They also want to know more about the selection process for superintendents. This is going to be a panel made up of members of the DeKalb County, Georgia House delegation. And they say they want to hear from parents, they want to hear from school officials, and they want to hear from officials in other school districts to just kind of compare how DeKalb operates and how these other districts might operate, especially when they're selecting a school superintendent. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. They say they really want to create a forum for parents to vent their frustrations and get their questions answered, and then hopefully come up with some sort of legislative solution.
In the meantime, Jonathan, is the county leaderless, or has there been an interim superintendent appointed?
There is an interim superintendent appointed, Dr. Sauce, and he will serve in that role. Dr. Horton's resignation, from my understanding, is effective on the 15th of next month, I believe.
Oh, all right. So a month, I guess a month of paychecks.
Right.
For Dr. Horton. All right. Really, really important story. Jonathan, great stuff as always, my friend. And listen, any new information drops, you just hit me up on the Piccadilly text line. We'll get you right back on the air.
Thanks, Mark.
Jonathan O'Brien covering a huge local story. And as I mentioned, any new updates on that story, you'll get them live here on 95.5 WSB. Congrats to Clay. Incoming. Don't give me a cup of tea, Clay. The bell was signifying that you won a pair of tickets to see Heart at Gas South Arena. When we come back, if you're one of the unfortunate furloughed government workers, there's a promotion you might be interested in. First, though, got to check that Thursday morning ride. Live with the latest. Here's Alex Williams.
Hey, Mark. We've been watching 285 westbound outer loop delays out of Sandy Springs over toward Truist Park. It was all focused on that ramp to I-75 northbound, but finally starting to see that thin out. So hopefully those brake lights back toward Riverside Drive will start to improve. Also looking on the West Freeway, I-20 eastbound, right around Fulton Industrial Boulevard. Trying right now to see if I see anything new. Might be something in that left lane. We're going to check that and see why you're slow back toward Riverside Parkway. And you got right lane construction in the cab. I-20 eastbound, right around Panola Road, just before Panola Road, exit number 71, causing brake lights through the work zone from Wesley Chapel Road. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Where you're going is a given. How you're getting there?
Well, that's the question.
We will start to see some delays if they shut that ramp down on 285 East.
Before you hit the navigation
You're
app.
going to be slowing right around Hudson Bridge Road. Listen to the people you can trust.
And really slow out of Ackworth into Emerson.
Updated traffic as often as you need it every time you listen.
We had a lot going on this morning through Henry County.
More experience, more reliable, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, triple team traffic.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
Hey, I have got an exclusive, money-saving, $29 offer to keep your family safe and warm. Hey, it's Chris Chandler for TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. After my fall checkup, I have total peace of mind, and you can too. New TE certified customers pay just $29 for a fall checkup. But hurry, offer ends October 31st.
TE certified, we love your home.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Be an early bird and save on your Thanksgiving turkey today. Select frozen USDA Grade A Butterball whole turkeys are 99 cents a pound with your card. Limit 2. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Are you shopping for an engagement ring or looking for the perfect wedding bands? Do you ever wish you could see all your options in one place, try on every ring, see the diamond in the light instead of trusting a picture? This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, where we've been bringing the top jewelry designers in the world to Atlanta since 1939. And we're doing it again October 24th through 26th for our fall bridal event. That means an event-only selection of hundreds of hand-selected loose diamonds and extended lines from the top ring designers like Tacori and Verragio, all in one place. And when you find the one, D. Geller & Son has Atlanta's best team of jewelers on site to size, set, and make your engagement rings come true. Plus, event-only savings of up to $3,000 off, 0% APR financing for 3 years, or free travel bans with your purchase of precious metal bands. October 24th through 26th in Kennesaw and Sandy Springs. Make an appointment at dgeller.com.
Affordable jewelry for everyone is at D. Geller & Son.
It's time to renovate your home and you've got designs in your head, but will they pass code? Hire Sketchhouse Architects before you call a builder to make sure your design is up to code and zoning compliant. Hi, I'm Richard Taylor, architect at Sketchhouse. We're going to make this easy to get your ideas on paper, and Sketchhouse will connect you with multiple builders to bid on your job through the Sketchhouse Builders Network. You're going to save thousands of dollars with Sketchhouse Architects. We're going to make this easy for you. Go to sketchhouse.com. That's sketch, H-A-U-S, sketchhouse.com.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
DC politicians want to enact harmful credit card mandates that could take away your cash back and rewards points. Perks that stretch your budget and make life a little easier. Losing these benefits means less money for your family's everyday essentials like gas and groceries. The perks you rely on could disappear, leaving you with higher costs and fewer options. Tell Congress to guard your card and oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates.
Paid for by Electronic Payments Coalition.
More and more these days, people are in pain, are taking control of their health and looking beyond the traditional medicine. Hey, it's Mark here. That's why QC Kinetics is so successful. People with chronic joint pain are learning that there are other options besides steroids, meds, and surgery. Patients fighting pain are getting lasting relief using advanced cellular treatments. It's QC Kinetics regenerative medicine that can revitalize your joints using growth factors from your own body. And check it out, guys. It's a simple injection. No hospital stay. It's fast, all natural, and no downtime. I want you to call QC Kinetics and get a free consultation. Exercise your freedom to look beyond the same old solutions. Thousands of patients around the country finding a better life with QC Kinetics and their amazing regenerative treatments. Call now to get started. 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026. Appointments available on Saturdays. Lawrenceville, Sandy Springs, Marietta, Stockbridge, Decatur, and Douglasville.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Hey, I am Brant, and her name is Sherry, and she's a friend and a colleague of mine, and we were just praying for her, actually, because she had a major surgery she just went through.
Yes, and I am very happy about something you actually talk about all the time, which is Medi-Share. That's
of
right,
course.
yeah.
So what was your experience like with Medi-Share and your healthcare bills?
You know what? It was seamless. And it's such a blessing when you're already nervous about a health issue, which I was.
Yeah.
Members shared my expenses. There were zero problems. And let me tell you, having people pray with you when you call in and it's just what you need, it's so refreshing.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling people. People love Medi-Share and saving tons of money. The typical family, I'm fond of saying, could save $500 a month.
I am so thankful for Medi-Share. It's so different, and I mean different in a very, very good way, Brant.
It is a good different. Call right now. They're so easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number, 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Father's been good to your daughter.
Oh, I like that song. Happy 48th birthday, John Mayer. This is Daughters. Mayer, known musician, and Casanova, right? Doesn't he have that reputation, Deborah?
I guess he does.
Date all of those poplit, starlit.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, John, that's a good song. You play this, Longoria, to your daughters?
I do not, but I've heard it before. It's a really nice song.
Yeah, I think if you want your younger daughter to take care of you in retirement,
start playing this.
Yeah, just have this on in the background all the time. Anyway, happy 48th birthday, John Mayer. If you're one of the unfortunate folks that have been laid off during the government shutdown and you want to take advantage of your situation, you might want to head out to Sin City. A Las Vegas gentleman's club has rolled out a new promotion for laid off or furloughed government employees.
Crazy Horse 3 called it Strippers Against Shutdowns, offering free lap dances for government workers whose paychecks dried up yesterday.
You have to bring your work ID or something that shows that you are with a government agency.
Club manager Luis Aceves.
Well, I don't think it's going to solve any of their problems, but if they can take a little bit of time during the day and just not think about it, then why not?
He says a little entertainment can go a long way in hard times. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
All right, for marketing, A+ creativity. Now,
one a day, or
I don't know what the limit is, Longoria. I love that. That's your follow-up question. But now we here in Atlanta know of a place called Crazy Horse 3. I'm assuming that the club manager, Louis, didn't run this by the dancers. I don't think the dancers are like, yeah, let's do free dances for furlough. I could see pushback from, like, that's how they, right, Longoria? Isn't that how it works at the shoe shows?
Sure, yeah.
What I've heard, yeah. The dancers get paid for the dances. And if these
At
are
least tipped, right?
Yeah. So if you got a bunch of unemployed dudes in there getting free,
How do they even get in the club?
They have government ID.
Yeah. Jesus.
Oh, so anyway, one more update, Deborah. Oh, this is sad because it's my favorite time of the year. Americans are now dreading the holiday season this year. Why are they dreading it?
Yeah, and it's not anything to do with like your traditional holiday stuff. It's mostly because of the financial situation we've all been in. You know, tariffs have hit everything. We have had all this economic instability for, a couple years now. And so most people are just not looking forward to having to buy gifts, spending all that extra money. A lot of people are just going to try to cut back, maybe do one gift per person or try to do a gift-free holiday. So, yeah, most people are dreading the holiday season this year.
That's sad. And again, not to make light of the furloughed workers, like, how do you plan Christmas right now if you are furloughed and you don't know when you're... That's sad that Americans aren't looking for. There are, you know what, we'll do that. We'll do a whole show dedicated to how to save money this Christmas and still have a beautiful Christmas season, even if the funds are tight. So mark that down, Shani B. Maybe one of my vacation days, I'll pre-record how to save money this Christmas show. We'll get Clark Howard on there.
Longoria's fact of the day.
All right. Today is National Dictionary Day. The first English dictionaries were often just lists of difficult words rather than a comprehensive guide to the language. They're different than what they were today.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. I'm tired.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
Our all right, here's something. Do they still print dictionaries? Are those still printed? Like, you go to Barnes & Nobles, are there dictionaries there?
Yeah, I think
sure there are.
Writers still kind of use dictionaries, but like
yeah, but
for
everything's online.
Most of us are just going to go online.
Yeah,
but I think you can go to a library and still find dictionaries.
But I'm just saying, like, if that has been your job for the last 80 years, like, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, I print dictionaries. Really? What do you sell? 6 a year now? Like, that's a not a growth business. No. Vinny, do not get into the dictionary printing business.
Are you guys ready for the market?
All right, I'm going to use the regular bell, not the shame bell for stars of the show. It's just it's too much. It's too abrasive. You know what? I'm going to give this to a Santa.
You should have ordered 3. You should have got 1 and tested it out.
Well, these are Christmas gifts. These are stocking stuffers for you guys. I'm going to give this to a... Who is the organization?
Andrew and I will only get half.
Who are the organization that does the Santas? Salvation Army.
Salvation Army? This
is a Salvation Army. It's too extreme, though. All right, I got to get stars of the show. Brad Garrett, crime and terrorism analyst from ABC, joined us. Jonathan O'Brien, covering that big DeKalb County story. Christina Edwards told us about the flash drought that we're currently going on here in Metro Atlanta. That's an interesting story. We also talked to Amy Peaky from Money Watch on how Americans are unprepared for retirement. But because we didn't think we were going to live as long as we're living. Really interesting stuff there from Amy Peaky. All right, tomorrow on the show, we have Ambassador Andrew Young, Dr. Oz, and actor Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters. Very excited. Social media is up and active at Mark Arum. Stay safe. Have a great Thursday, Atlanta.